down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Free up the guys, then dip out the ends. Jump in the ride, then burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't catch the boy that I'm in. Now we on the block with the up for events. Skin get close, could you put on them with the tits on 10? Back in the back, that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, 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 ding.
Spin must be a cult thing.
It must be a cult Eastwood thing. Look who he's back. Chat! What's up, chat? It is possible I can make it on time. What's up, everybody? Let's get lit as I try and sort my life out. How you guys doing, chat? Can you hear me? Are the sound levels good?
Hey, Gaz, you got a lot of echo, but check this out.
Are you doing a Dreamcast guy thumbnail? What
Yeah.
are you doing? Oh shit! I got my music on the playlist. Oh shit! Why is that? That's a bit weird. Why is that doing that? Oh shit! Oh, there it is. Chat, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a saucy show. This is the real XNC right here. You know it. Look at this guy's face. He knows it.
The GNC podcast.
He knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it. We're about to get lit up in here. It has been an eventful couple of weeks, hasn't it, Cole Eastwood? Bam! Out of the brink of nowhere, the whole situation has changes, there's developmentals that's happening in our clavicles. What is going on? Before we get into the show, we have a lot to talk about. A lot of shit went down this week, and I want to break it down with my good buddy Colt Eastwood. But Colt Eastwood, before we go into all of that shit, how have you been, man? It's good to see you, bruh.
I'm amazing.
You're amazing.
We're in the summer. I'm amazing. We're in the summer where everything's usually pretty dead,
Yeah.
but it has been jam-packed with like juicy, delicious morsels of corpses to munch on. It's been great. I've been really enjoying it. And then been playing a lot of games too. So many games that I actually left a couple of devs hanging. I was supposed to play test a multiplayer game right before I went on a camp out last week, and I just couldn't get to it. I completely missed out on the opportunity. There's been so much stuff going on. I'm so excited to be here because we were birthed out of the same womb.
Yes, yes we are. Yes we are, brothers from another mothers, and it
Came out at the same time.
Bro. That's a visual I did not need.
Even though I'm like, like this. And I'm like 10 years older than you, but at the same time, you know, I just stayed in there a little longer. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, shit, man. We are the same mentally as well. Oh, man. Good to see you, chat. Good to see you. Let me shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Web Dave. Shout to see you, man. Good to see you as always, man. We got the Game Adaptation Network. We got the Hazardor Gaming. I thought Zubitech was better than you. Get the good old Zubitech sources. Hazardor, good to see you. Captain Chats, Iron Storms, Slim Pickens, as always. Good to see you, bruv. Boys of Bay, good to see you, Slum, bro. Gentle Stone, literal table 756. That's a interesting.
The classic UK Desirous is in the chat as well. A long time classic in the community. Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Grey Fox 020, Top Gamer. Good to see you, man. Dickle. Dickle. Oh, bro, that's his name, man. Dicky. I don't even know if that's even better, bro. We got Walt Diggity.
It's Dickle.
Talking with Bob. Then Malta Pandora. Good to see you, man. And we got Sir Riffs a lot. Cody Ray. BT Maverick. I see you. Void Rat. Lutrons. Sir Sniffs a lot. You guys have some sick ass names, not gonna lie, bro. Randoms and more. Let me scroll down. Yeah, I think I've got everyone. Oh shit, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna have a very eventful show. I'm sure we are. We're gonna make some memes and we'll make some schleems. Before we do that, we have quite a few topics this week to talk about. Obviously, if you guys have caught on with the developments, it's an interesting time. I feel like the Xbox community is like up here and the PlayStation community is just deflated as hell right now, which is interesting because the PlayStation community.
They sound like us in 2024.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's the same thing, bro. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, it's mad. But before we go into the other thing that's really scaring them, I
know we got to start slow because we could rip an Achilles heel like out of the gate with all of this snooze. Yeah, we do. Take it nice and easy.
Yeah, I will do.
You know, nice and easy.
Bruh, this is gonna be a long ass podcast, I'm telling you right now. Richie Torres MMA, thank you so much for the 5. Cop that Rage-bound Ninja Gaiden, Gaz. Awesome retro action game. I've been hearing a lot about that. Definitely will do that.
I played the Shinobi demo last night on Steam. It's about an hour plus.
Yeah.
Fonz and I were playing it on Party Chat and talking about it. It's all like ink and paint style side scroller. You know, where Ragebound is like 16-bit retro style.
Yeah.
This looks like somebody painted a bunch of cell shades and animated it. It's got really good feel, like dash and swipe and heavy swipe and you know, flips and everything.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember, like, what does this remind me of? But pretty cool game. You know, it's your typical. It reminds me of Guacamelee is what it reminds me of. The feel, like the snappy feel. So okay. Shinobi's coming out soon as well. And there's so many ninja games this year. It's awesome.
Yeah, man. There's loads of stuff like that. We got Ninja Gaiden coming out later this year as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Ninja Gaiden 4. Ninja Gaiden 4? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot, but what's going on in chat? Chat's getting messy already. This guy keeps spamming. Stop talking rubbish. What is this guy? He's just spamming.
Yeah, Beast Bros. Like, you know, join the chat. Like, start talking to us, and then
he's gone.
He's
Bye,
gone,
Felicia.
just like that.
Bye, Felicia. Just spamming. Yeah, just cut me off completely. I haven't been following this so much as I'm more of a PC guy now, but PlayStation 6, I wanted to talk to you about this. You tweeted about this earlier, and I wanted to get an idea about what is going on here. The PlayStation 6 has reportedly had its specifications leaked. That is a big deal, man. Like, Insider Gaming are reporting on it. I think it's coming from Moore's Law is Dead or something. I think he's a bit of a pony.
Really early stuff. If they launch at 2028, which Moore's Law is saying is possible, but he thinks it's probably 2027 along with Xbox's console. It's pretty crazy.
So now PlayStation's he thinks they may come out in 2027. I've got Insider Gamer's article here. I haven't actually read it, but this broke. When did this break? Like yesterday or today?
I mean, I've got the specs memorized because I've been working on a video that I'll be putting out probably Monday, so I don't put it on tomorrow, but I'll be done with it this afternoon when we're done with the show. But anyway, the synopsis is that PlayStation, according to these hardware leaks and documentation, PlayStation wants an affordable, low-powered PS6 that will get people off their butts who are stuck on the PS4, who haven't moved up to the PS5. So Moore's Law believes that this PS6 could be as cheap in 2027, could be as inexpensive as $400 or even up to $500, the way the PS5 launched. And moving into the PS6 generation, PlayStation users will have to leave the PS4. And Sony doesn't want them to say, I can't do it, it's too expensive. And the best part about this is PlayStation can literally make an Xbox Series S next generation, and it will not hinder their impact in the market. They'll be able to sell a ton of the PS6 consoles. Developers will optimize for it because it'll be such a big entrance into the market because it's a PlayStation. So PlayStation can't lose. They make this thing inexpensive for them. They make it inexpensive for the consumer. They get more people to buy it. I mean, they could literally put a piece of crap in a box with the PlayStation logo on it, and we'd all buy one because they make really great products. Of course, I'm being facetious and feces-ish, but this, I think it's actually brilliant. I think it's brilliant that PlayStation can set the lowest standard of game design for hardware. They could hold back the entire generation by being more powerful than the PS5 Pro in 2027, and I don't think it would hurt game design and development whatsoever. And then Xbox can have this super powerful console because they're going to be able to play PC games. So the interesting thing is, we'll dive into the other stuff, but Xbox has almost all of PlayStation's games plus a bunch of PC games, if not all of them. PlayStation will just have PS4, PS5, and then whatever comes out on console with no access to PC versions of games that aren't on PlayStation. It's crazy. Plus, you just throw in the thing that PlayStation's like, hey, let's put games on Xbox, and we have a whole show to talk about. There's your intro.
Whoa, sorry, Colt, there's a lot to take in there. There's a lot for me to take in there. The point that you talked about, this is not going to be that powerful. Like they're going for more. They're less for power, and they're going for more accessibility.
Okay.
That surely with the power hungry PlayStation. That's not good news. Is that why I'm not seeing much hype about this thing? Like on the PlayStation.
You just it's like Insider Games, like the specs for the PS6 leaked.
Yeah.
Crickets, like 300 likes. Like that's normally 1,000 like tweet.
Yeah.
But they know because Moore's Law reported this 4 days ago or 3 days ago. They've been sitting on it like an egg, the PlayStation fans, because I don't know a whole bunch about tech, but this PS6 hardware profile is 160 watts, which is closer to like the Xbox One X in power draw. So PlayStation really is doing a lower power draw, lower frequency so they can keep compatibility. They're going to stay at a baseline level of power and affordability, which will stay in line with what almost the majority of developers design their games for, which are still kind of playable on a PS4, right? And this is what Moore's Law said that really...
It sounds like dog shit, bro. I'm shocked at what you are telling me.
No, it won't. It won't.
Why?
It was...
What? Now you're defending it, you piece of... It's a shit. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just...
Chat.
Be reasonable. The PS6 comes out in 2027.
Okay.
Xbox's OEM or Xbox's first party console, that year that the PS6 comes out could be 2 times more expensive. And it doesn't matter. Like, power has never dictated where the market goes. The Nintendo Switch 2 has sold 6 million units in 28 days or whatever, 6 weeks or whatever it was. Not 28 days. Yeah, I think it was 6 million units in 6 weeks. The Nintendo Switch is the lowest hardware profile on the market, and it's selling like hotcakes. It doesn't matter. People just want access to a really great device to play games. PlayStation can make it affordable for them. They can make it affordable for the market, and they won't lose. I can see it coming from a mile away. And they have no console competitor in the market because Xbox's console won't be a direct competitor. It's going to be basically a PC that plays every console game for Xbox and some PlayStation games. There's a lot to say.
What the flip, chat? Chat, you know, I haven't even moved on from the fact that there's a handheld that's actually going to even stifle this even more.
I'm not even covering this in my video this next week. The handheld is literally going to be
all the shit that the Series S got for holding things back. And there's a bloody portable that's launching alongside this. What? Podies, you tell me.
Hold on, Wade Johnson won. Wade Johnson won, says stop being a pony bot, Colt. I'm trying to explain to you that this PS6 will sell far and above the competition in Xbox, and it'll try and keep up with Nintendo. But listen, hold on. What the F do sales do for you? Think about it. Unless you're a diehard, one brain cell amoeba fanboy, what are sales going to do for you when you can go with Xbox and get 50 to 100 of PlayStation's games next generation?
Yeah.
Plus every game available on Steam, Epic, GOG, Ubisoft, EA Play, all of those stores on PC, plus every Xbox game that's available now, which is 6,000 games with back compat with 45 games on Xbox Original, 600 games from the 360, and everything else you own. Like, you could talk about sales of the PlayStation 6 just dominating the Xbox, but the truth is, if you're here for games, Xbox has all of them. And I'm talking almost all of them, because if this job announcement that we're going to get into later, look out, because you're you're cheering on the wrong horse if you're like, my sales, when you're playing fewer games with less power.
So
think about you.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about me, yeah? Look, the PS6 is basically, okay, bro. This should be pony pandemonium out in the streets for the whole narratives about custom grade. Like, Nibs should be crying in his sleep about he wants custom built, custom grade PC, PlayStations built to, you know, take advantage of this. And you've got PS Portable. You're talking about Series S holding things back. Oh, Series S. What's a portable gonna do to you guys? What's a portable gonna do? Look, I'm happy with this 5090, bro. It's gonna carry and obliterate anything that the PS6 and the next Xbox will be. But at least the next Xbox has some appeal because it's gonna be an extension of my PC experience on the big screen if I need it. The Xbox has a real defining, distinguishing factor, man. But if ponies are just going to be happy with another, basically like PS4 style thing, off the shelf parts, hardly anything so surprising, toned down in power, like what are we?
I would assume that the next PS native handheld will be slightly more powerful than the Xbox ROG Ally X that's about to come out, right? You can assume it'll be the leap from this one to the Xbox ROG Ally X. It'll be capable of playing your games, and a lot of games have to be at 30 on these portables. A ton of them. Iron
Storm says, Gaz, the ponies have stampeded after the job announcement. The PS6 is meaningless at this point. Bro, you know what? When this breaks, yeah, when they show you the next specs, like of the PS5 Pro, there was a lot more noise than there is for the PS6. And I am starting to understand it. I'm like, why is it so quiet out in the streets? But you've got chat, I'm going to bring it up here. Boom. Yeah. So I've got articles from Insider Gamer. PlayStation 6 console and new PS6 handheld Canis spec leak, it's claimed. This is coming from Moore's Law. Canis in the anus. We've got it's the PS6 early leak. Anyone remember the PS4? It was a console that made the choice to not go all out in specs so that it could have mass market appeal. After the previous generation left some people feel burned with how expensive it was at launch. Who said this? Is this Moore's Law is dead? Is he quoting that?
Which part? Yeah.
I'll just say, from what I've seen behind the scenes so far, it at least appears Sony's planning to do this sort of strategy again with the PlayStation 6. What? It's over. If this is
all
true.
Of that talk about Series S holding back the generation, and PlayStation is going to do it even harder than they think Xbox Series S did. And the reality is there's like 3 games that didn't make it to the Series S, and then it's coming anyway. Like Black Myth Wukong is one. It's a highly exaggerated issue where some smaller devs and 1 or 2 big devs have said that Series S is problematic or difficult to do. And then you got Rockstar who's making GTA 6, the most next generation game that you're ever going to see. It'll probably look better than most games next generation. And they're like, oh, we have no problem, making that game. Just, they're just not going to get it at 60. And it probably won't, that's the whole thing.
This is a major, look, where's the chat? Am I the only one surprised by, are you guys surprised by what you're hearing or what you're reading or what you're seeing about the next PlayStation 6? This is absolutely drab and dire and boring. Like, this is not things to get excited about.
Want to hear some funny stats on this thing?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
Okay, this video I'm breaking down is going to be about 12 minutes, and it breaks down side by side. But I'll give you some of the punchy, fun stats. The power draw is 160 watts compared to the base PS5, which goes up to 220. But so it's more efficient. Maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe they found. But come on, bruv.
Or they're using batteries. Maybe you put AA batteries in the bottom of the console. I don't know. But no, I'm kidding. But here's a funny part. Both the next Xbox and the PS6, according to the leaks that Moore's Law has found with his sources, which sound pretty credible. they're both Navi 5 GPUs, but the PS6 has 40 to 50 compute units. The Xbox has, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Up to 184 compute units.
Compared to?
50 compute units on the PS6, according to this, with Xbox having 184 compute units. Now, that depends on the clocks and the frequencies, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't understand. But it's funny,
I don't
Moore's Law.
Just tell me, what does that mean? Like, when you're comparing to which Xbox?
The next generation Xbox.
The
PS6
has how much?
The PS6 and the next generation Xbox are both supposed to come out at the end of 2027. And according to these data leaks of the hardware testing, the PS6 is at 50 compute units. The Xbox is at 184 compute units. Now, and you can look up I can look up compute units, and I think I did in my last video and tried to explain what that can do. But I mean, it's a measure of their power, it says.
For
the GPU rendering,
the Xbox stats from, like, with the specs from? Was that
from Moore's Law and Kepler, but mostly from Kepler is the Xbox specs. Kepler coincided with the report from Moore's Law, and Kepler has been impeccably accurate with his leaks. He doesn't leak until he's confident. Moore's Law has had a few slip-ups here or there, but he claims, kind of like Detective Seeds, that he's had a good track record recently, so you can believe him at this point. But he's out there touting this PS6 as being a low-power, affordable console, when I'm looking at the definition, like, you're talking about a low-power, less capable console. But Moore's Law says that everyone owns a 4K TV that only does 60 FPS, so why should we push any further? He said, I'd argue that the current generation graphics that PlayStation is doing are the top end of what we need, so why not just go forward with that? But everyone's asking for next generation to step it up. And Moore's Law saying, oh, PlayStation's like, oh, now's good enough. Let's just give them more of now in 2027. But I don't sit here and think that the PS6 won't be amazing. I'm sure it'll be awesome. And just like I think that the Series S, for its $300 price point at launch, is incredible. But idiots don't believe that because they won't play one, or they don't look at what it was for the price point and what's in it. But this is the future. Everything's changing.
It's so shit. It's so shit. Just chat. Let's just listen to me, bruv. Get a PC, bruv. Don't start squabbling, fighting over scraps. It's not worth it, bruv. This is just dry, man.
Well, hold on, you're talking to a ton of, chat. Put a hand up or a thumbs up in the chat, and like the podcast as well. If you're an Xbox console guy, like, you own a lot of console games, because when Gaz says just buy a PC, you might want to seriously consider buying Xbox's next
or do that
official partnered Xbox PC or the OEM one, because all of your games are going to come with you, plus you'll have access to all the PC games. So make that decision before you just go PC and leave half your 80% of your library behind, if you care about that sort of thing.
By the way, shout out to Web Dave. He goes, pony nuclear meltdown when Spider-Man hits Xbox. Web Dave, when that happens, get some baby oil, bruv.
I'm going to be so toxic that day.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be the most toxic piece of shit if that
Web Dave,
happens.
It doesn't even have to be Spider-Man. If it's something as small as Returnal, all it has to be is a first-party studio, first-party IP, single-player game. And I have this bet with Mag. I love Mag so much. Shout out to Mag, guys. Give him a shout-out. He's gone through some serious crap this week. But he's amazing. Okay, but we have this bet. All it has to be is a single-player, first-party studio. Housemarque, Insomniac, anything that PlayStation owns. Even the Lego Horizon thing is almost enough to say, we don't want your game, but holy smokes, did you guys follow Xbox?
Yeah.
And it could be Days Gone, guys. And I've been hearing a lot of that from people who
Days Gone as well.
wait. Yeah, I was talking to someone, and you know who I'm talking about, who waits until their own podcast, or they wait until their co-host says it. This person has been saying Days Gone more often than Returnal. So I'm just keeping my eyes out. Like, Days Gone is a great game and should be on and would do amazing on Xbox. So all it has to be is one of their studios, one of their games. I'm talking a lot, but there's so much to cover, and PlayStation guys have been so wrong. Sean Layden told them way back in 2019, we're trying to get rid of the walled garden. You know, gaming should be for everyone. They had this whole job announcement for a multi-platform way back in 2019. We want to hire someone to do games on PC. They're like, oh, it'll never happen. Exactly a year later, Horizon Zero Dawn. The PlayStation fans have been the most wrong this generation. The Xbox guys had to roll over when Phil's like, just 4 games, but they're in their 4 games moment right now, and I will be so toxic when it happens.
Bro, of course, man. The cumulative impact and the interest that has built up from these ponies have just feel like they've been validated, and you could tell the wind has been sucked out of their bellies and their lungs, because this PlayStation 6 leak has happened, and if it's real and what we're hearing is true, and we know that there's a PS6 handheld, so that alone for me was like, right, hold on a minute. You are ponies. You are walking into a fat L, because you have built talked so much shit about a Series S. Imagine, blood. Imagine you got a handheld, bro. A handheld. A handheld is going to be launched alongside it. The next PS6 has to cater for a handheld. And then you're going to be like, but scalability. Then it matters, isn't it? Scalability. Bro, you guys are going to get murked. You guys are going to get murked by your own narrative. And that's why I'm not seeing you guys being excited about this thing, because you're not excited about it. All right, okay, imagine I'm not a bot. I'm not a bot. I'm a pony bot. No, I'm not. What am I? A pony bot? Chat's gunning me, calling me a pony bot, then calling me a bot. I got the ponies in the chat rinsing me. I'm a PC master race. I'm a PC refugee. Imagine I'm just neutral. Okay, just you make the pitch to me, yeah?
Okay, hold on. Everybody, try really squint your eyes really hard.
Call me whatever you want, yeah? Imagine I'm a neutral person. I am. Who's a neutral person in this space?
No one.
Chris Drink. I can't think. Christopher Drink. Shut up, man. Christopher Drink. Look, forget I'm a PC master race. Forget my refugee. You are just making. I'm a blank canvas. Now you're ACG. ACG. Good shout, Shabs. That's a good shout, Shabs.
Yeah. ACG is. Yeah.
ACG is safe.
The Lutron says Paris Lily.
Paris Lily, come on, man. No, but yeah, so imagine I'm a blank canvas. You're making a pitch for PS6. PS6, that is going to be held back by this handheld. That is, according to these leaks, going to be like the PS4. It's going to hone in nothing major, no tech strides. It's going to keep it conservative, affordable, all this shit that just made me just throw up inside my mouth. Okay, sorry, I was trying to be objective here. That console.
You can't even do it when you're pretending.
Can't do it. But that console, or at least the next Xbox here, is doing something majorly different and giving you something you don't get on consoles. Everyone's like, hybrid, like what are you going for? You should be going, brother, and looking at the PS6 and the specs held back by your freaking narrative on a bloody handheld. Like there's nothing interesting in that front. It's going to be a status quo. This generation of PS5, I'm sorry, but it's been pretty shit. Like you might say, oh, Gaz, you're pretty biased, but I think it's a shit. Everyone's like, oh no, we had a really good start of this gen, but carried by cross-gen games for the most part. And then the rest of it is just them PlayStation community crying about their roadmap secretly or in their podcast, but not actually doing it publicly facing. And most of the time for the last 2 years, they've been celebrating Xbox games, which have absolutely decimated their entire freaking charts. The games that freaking Xbox is supposed to be shit. A 4-year-old race it. We'll talk about that in a bit. Just completely mugged. Best-selling game of 2025, and you're sitting there freaking what? What's left? What's left? The whole point, and this is the kind of problem. Actually, I say that's lack of competition, but Xbox, that has capitulated in this space, is delivering a better hardware, at least on the face of it, than PlayStation is phoning it in with a handheld, which may be nice. I'm not saying it's going to be completely, totally shit, but on the face of it, like, what are you excited about? The handheld and playing it on, like, well, Xbox is already there. Like, everyone's already there. Nintendo's already got a Switch too, which is basically a hybrid, or whatever, handheld console. You've got Xbox that is going to be everywhere, so they're ahead of it everywhere, not just any device that they mandate. There's going to be multiple products, and then you've got the PlayStation that's going to have its bespoke handheld and a phoned-in next-gen console. Phoned-in. This is. Are you correct on this, Colt? Because Moore's law, I'm reading it, and that's what he's saying. I'm going to bring this up in a screen, Colt. There's not much of a delay, so perhaps you can explain this shit to me, because you are way more technically minded than I am. I have no idea what this shit means. So the PS6 console, chiplet design. Even sounds, the chip sounds shit. Chiplet.
It's a little Oreo. It's a little Chips Ahoy cookie.
Those little chewing.
No, the chiplet design will. Yeah, the chiplet design is probably the same size and nanometer. They're both 3 nanometer process. I know a little bit about this, but not much. But I think you need to skip down to the after it says release date. Yeah.
Wait,
the 160 watt power supply.
Yeah.
Okay, back up.
Eight Zen 6 cores.
Okay, here's the funny part. The PS5 and PS5 Pro both have an 8-core, 16 multi-thread, simultaneous multi-threading for instructions. So it has 8 cores, and they can be split into 2 for extra instructions, and that also helps with draw calls for frame rates. Yeah. But the Xbox has, according to Moore's law, 10 to 11 cores, which can be simultaneously multi-threaded to 20. So this is 8 by 16 compared to 10 to 20, 10 by 20. So even the CPU alone, the process, this is the part that makes frame rates higher. We don't know the frequency of these cores of this Zen 6 CPU on the PS6 or the next Xbox. We don't have that frequency number because they were different on the PS5 versus the Series X. But what happened was, there's a lot to talk about there, but Series X is about 10% better in frequency overall compared to the PS5. So you're supposed to get slightly better frame rate. So I know tons of games you get 3 or 4 more frames. But if you're talking 8 cores versus 10 to 11 cores, that could be a 25% jump in extra frame rate alone for the Xbox console compared to the PS6. But we don't know those other numbers. We said this at the start
of this gen, and remember that power draw didn't work out. Let's not make that mistake again.
Right. Yes, and there were so many like large flagship games that did better on the PS5, but John Linneman's Digital Foundry said that, by and large, the Xbox Series X beat out the PlayStation in performance or resolution. So, like, we would always cherry pick as other people cherry pick, like, the PlayStation gets 3 more frames, but I'm like, but at what resolution? And that went back and forth. But
I mean, forget the
this sounds like a
power.
big difference.
When I'm looking at what you're telling me and what Moore's law is explaining about the PS6, I'm not really thinking versus the Xbox. I'm thinking of it on its own, what it's doing, and that kind of sounds shit, man. Like a phoned in PS6. It's like,
I don't think it's phoned in.
I mean, okay, fine. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh there, but when we typically,
I think they're just being conservative. They know that. Look at it this way: PlayStation's like, this is really where we can go and get away with it, because this is what the market wants, and games are really designed around this scope. And Xbox is like, it eats monsters for breakfast again, and we want to give you the moon and the stars when it comes to technology, so you don't have to be held back by performance and resolution. And maybe Xbox is like, we don't want to F with VR because PlayStation failed both of their VRs, but we can, if this next console on Xbox, you can buy whatever VR headset you want, because we'll give you the overhead to do that if you want, because I'm Phil Spencer and I don't care about VR, right? So the next metric, put that back up, please.
Oh, sorry.
Is the compute units.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the numbers, and this is why when I'm building this video, it's taking forever, because I'm putting the numbers on the screen with visuals, because we're simple people, right? 40 to 48 RDNA 5 compute units. The Xbox has, according to Moore's law, a UNDA, which is, this is all, I've been diving into this stuff for like 3 months, but that's the architecture. They have similar architectures, but Xbox is using UDNA, which is unified with PC, which would be great for developers who are making the PC version and console version. So that's very similar. I don't have a gigahertz on the Xbox, but that's where I was saying 50 compute units on the PS6 And Xbox has, let me look at the number and make sure I get it exactly right. It's 184, but he had a fluctuating number. He said it could go up to 154 with 8 of those like throwaway for binning or for yield issues. The GPU in the Xbox sounds way more powerful than the PlayStation 6. So it sounds like they're trimming down the processor, which handles frames on the PS6, and then the GPU is smaller on the PS6, which is a recipe for less resolution, less frames compared to the Xbox. That's how I'm seeing it.
But it sounds like they're going to be relying heavily on AI upscaling then.
So is Xbox. So yeah. Xbox is going to lean hard. They're going to use PSSR 2.0, which is phenomenal. Like, looks amazing. You're going to get 4K at 60 or 4K, maybe even 90, or if Moore's Law says 4K 120, I'm like, maybe. It's going to look incredible, but Xbox has more raw hardware power, way more than we thought with Series X versus PS5. And they're going to have the same competitive AI upscaling with DirectSR, which is a Microsoft version of PSSR, which is also tied into AMD's FSR, which both of them use. They're just like kind of fine tweaking their own solution. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Bro.
And the power narrative is going to be flushed down the toilet along with the exclusives narrative next gen.
Well, no. What's left? There's nothing left.
It's about the games. It's like, who makes the greatest games? Who has access to the greatest games? And if PlayStation waits to put their games, we'll talk about that later, right? But if PlayStation waits, or they buffer a timed exclusivity before they start considering other platforms, then PlayStation will have some of the best games. But lately, over the past 2 years, Xbox has had just as amazing of games as PlayStation has. And I did that Metacritic chart, that open critic chart, because this generation, they're neck and neck at like 82 out of 100. So the narrative that Xbox makes trash Super Lucky's Tale is long outdated, and PlayStation's 90 meta bangers are few and far between, just like Xbox has a couple of those. But PlayStation will get those games as well, and I think Xbox will eventually. It's super weird. They'll get them either way because it's going to be on PC. All hail Hiroki Totoki.
I got to make that Hiroki Totoki song. Now I'm waiting for that single player game. Please be soon, so I'd be dying to do that. But yeah, so holy shit. Right, so we've got this.
You suck so much. I was like writing this in our chat, and you're just like.
I was out.
You had nothing to say.
I don't know what you. All I saw was Mads was talking about it. Then I saw someone in the like, and Sony Twitterverse is zip. Nibs tried to. I can't trust how Nibs says things, because he always does it in his Nibs way. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm not happy about the fact that there's a handheld. It might hold things back. But what do you think?" The whole thing was just like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be happening. But I'm not happy about it." But
I only lambasted the Xbox fans for 5 years,
yeah,
but
by the Series S, yeah. Oh my god, he is such a troll. Like, if this was the Xbox, I know exactly how that tweet would look like. It would be like, "Oh, breaking! Xbox going to have a dual setup for their next console, backed up by their handheld. Will this be a big problem? Series S was an issue. Now it's going to be an even bigger issue. Yeah, and then that's going to be the big."
I love it when you do your white guy American voice.
I did that in my video.
Actually, the entire spectrum.
But yeah, man, like it's a weird scenario right now with what's happening at the moment, and
it's so exciting.
It's exciting, but at the same time, unless you're a PlayStation fan, because I don't know, is this exciting?
I don't know. I think people are looking at it the wrong way.
Okay.
Like, I remember when we were getting into the PS5 and Xbox generation, the rumor was that it was going to be that it could be more powerful, and I wanted it to be less expensive. Because I use my PlayStation for 2-3 games a year, sometimes just one.
Yeah.
Because I only play the first-party games that aren't on PC or whatever. Like, if I don't want to wait, like Astrobot and Death Stranding 2, right?
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that next gen I'm going to buy a $800 next generation Xbox, and I could turn around and spend $400 to $500 on a brand new PS6 that'll play Uncharted 5 day one before I have to wait, if I don't want to wait for PC. Like, you should be excited about that. And PlayStation fans should be clapping and cheering that we don't care about resolution and frame rate because we just want great games, and we don't want to like bend over and take a $700 bill for the next PS5 Pro console. That'll be their upgrade, right?
That's a good point. The price point is important. Look, it's the reality is they want to chat. Slim Pickens says,
but they don't care.
Cole, Wu-Tang is for the chat. Let's see the T-shirt. A Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. Yeah. So, right, but I guess in that sense you're right, because
they don't care.
They don't care
about the games. They care about a list war.
Really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
They don't care about us as a cool gaming fans.
You and I alone. I need you. So far away.
Master Better says Xbox in full denial. Oh man, is he gonna be hurting? Like,
who said that?
This goes Master Better. It goes right up. It goes up, curves this way. And Hiroki Totoki's like, they're like, no one cares about the Xbox platform. It's a dying platform. And Hiroki's like, get Helldivers on there immediately.
that really just murked that. Bro, it's pony pandemonium out there. There's civil war out in the streets. I'm just sitting there observing. Bro, yeah, you're seeing something. Portorock is fighting almost single-handed. Well, on the podcast scene, everyone. You got the Portorock. You had M
keeping it real.
You even have crazy psycho doxing Sumo, who's going out saying, "Oh my God, PlayStation guys are more feral than are more toxic than Xbox guys." Mr. Doxing Sumo is, and then saying that. Well, we knew that was a fact. PlayStation guys are the most toxic community, but damn.
And JTech locks his live chat. You have to be subscribed for 7 years or something before you can. 7 years. I haven't even been on YouTube that long.
And then he falls copyright strikes it because he can't take the joke. Like, what? This is shit community anyway. We know that, but it's falling apart. Like, it's absolute toilet. Like, for 2 years they celebrated, high-fived each other. Yeah, Xbox games coming on. Yeah, you know, they lost the console war. And boom, now it's just gone. Like, the whole idea is gone. The PS6 is they're a conservative upgrade on a price point. Fair enough. That's fine. But I'm telling you, these same guys were on power. They were comparing their PlayStation 5 Pros to 4090s, like D-Batch, and others are like that. So,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do. But PS6 being this kind of console, how's that exciting? Like, no one's moving things forward. Get a PC, chat. Just get a PC. They're taking you for mugs, man. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. It's crazy that what I'm hearing and what you're telling me, Cole. Like, this is what bots? You guys are too nice. You should be out there murking them for this PS6 stat. Or are you playing the waiting game there, or something's going on? I'm confused by the stillness on the streets with the PS6 leak, unless Moore's law is not a credible source, or people are but Insider Gaming basically leaked the PS5 Pro very accurately.
Yeah, somebody I talked to said I'm not touching this leak until Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming reports it, and then the very next day he has like 900 tweets about it, and I'm like, because I think this person knew that I would start building a video immediately.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I started building it, and he's like, "Oh, I wait till Tom Henderson says something," and like, there it is. The reality is they don't care. They've spent. Oh no, it's Alex said it so great in his video a couple days ago. He said, "You're looking at 40-year-old plus 40-year-old fanboys with gray in their beard." Who are grown adults, but they spent their adolescence fighting the console war, you know, with the flag for the PlayStation saying we have the games and we have exclusivity and our games are nowhere but this plastic box, and that has all gone away the past 5 years. Joe from Seattle did a really great video as well. These are YouTubers you should watch to kind of see what the actual meltdown of this cataclysm of nonsense where they don't care about PlayStation. They don't care about the games. They don't care about the hardware. They only care about bragging rights, because when people are saying, PlayStation fans saying things like, I'm going to go to Nintendo where the real exclusives is. You never cared or wanted a Nintendo. You don't like their games. You never talked about them. You're not playing them, but you only want to be there because they have this
exclusivity factor?
Exclusive membership where if you don't spend $400 like I do, you're not in the white jacket club with the blue bow tie. It's absolute insanity. And I get called a fanboy all the time because I'm a big fan of things I like. But I've always had a PlayStation console for the past decade. And way before that, I had the PlayStation 1 forever. But I just play whatever games I want. And if you do it right, it's not that expensive to have a second console that'll kind of give you perception and perspective of what it means to be able to play games. I bought the PS4 for like $200 used on eBay, and I immediately loaded up God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, like all the games I missed in the first part of the generation. And you kind of sit back and you're like, oh, okay, this is normal. And people with their list wars, those list wars are gone. Because it's going to be a rarity.
I mean, that list was, bro, all of last gen. I just saw that, the list on Xbox's woeful little green specs and the PlayStation Blue and all this. And they just shut their mouths this gen. And your chart burns them every time. Just keep sharing that. Keep sharing that graphic because it hurts them, it hurts Nibs, it hurts them all. And
they hate it.
And those list wars are basically gone because everything is multi-plat. But it is hilarious how quickly, relatively, that PlayStation is capitulating on the strategy. They're copying Microsoft because they're desperate. They're desperate to squeeze out the juice. And now this next console actually is an indication of their mindset. If this is true, and if their mindset is we'll follow the PS4 mantra and just deliver obviously not held back by those shitty Jaguar CPUs. That's not exactly like the PS4 gen, but it's going to be more competitive, honed in, because let's be honest, Colt, how many PlayStation games really push the needle? They haven't. These consoles haven't. None of these consoles have. To this day, Cyberpunk 2077, a cross-gen game on my PC, is the most incredible looking thing I've seen, and Red Dead Redemption 2. That's a last gen game. It looks incredible. And the developers aren't really pushing it, to be fair. There's very, very few examples of this generation that I'm seeing, the bar being pushed forward. And the ones that are UE5 games, or maybe Dead Stranding 2, which looks good, but only has 3 NPCs on screen. But it's just the power thing, I guess, is starting to wane. Maybe that's why people have given up. It's a big deal. This next console should be an exciting moment. You start releasing the specs of this thing, people need to be excited. PlayStation has a handheld coming out, dedicated one. Obviously, they want to hold on to and maximize hardware revenue coming in from their own bespoke proprietary handheld. That's fair enough. Microsoft's strategy is a lot more broader, but I think a lot more inviting. But then we saw the PlayStation Portal, which I was wrong about. That thing sold like mad. So can you imagine a dedicated...
I was wrong about it too.
Yeah. I thought that was going to completely...
Well,
flop.
I mean, it launched without... you could only play on Wi-Fi, and it was missing some other things. And then they turned it around really fast, and it's an incredible piece of kit.
It just keeps selling it, and we were wrong about that. So can you imagine the selling power of something like a dedicated PlayStation 6 handheld? And if you launch it with day one, the marketing stuff, there's a lot there to sell. You could even, if it's a lower price point, say, how much do you think this thing is going to cost, the PS6?
Is Moore's Law saying that this handheld is going to be a PS6 handheld? Because I felt like he was sort of describing it like a PS5 handheld, like it was going to be a bridge between last generation and would probably play any cross-generation games. But I got that from the gist. The problem is once you got to the handheld stuff, I stopped taking notes in his video because I wanted to cover just console.
Well, what is this?
What's that?
I put the screen to the Canis handheld.
Oh, Canis. I love it.
The anus. Canis, man.
Canis should be. Oh, there it is. Just like I said, and I did not. I'm not. Hey, I'm right, but I guessed correctly. At the bottom it says Canis should beat the Xbox Ally X in performance, but it doesn't come off as a powerhouse. So, like I said, like a half an hour ago, I have the ROG Ally here. The jump from the Ally X should be what we get the jump to the PS Portable, which makes me feel like it's more like a PS5 Portable than a PS6. But knowing how the majority of developers develop games, you would probably be able to play just about anything and everything on this new handheld for PlayStation, but at 30 FPS, which sometimes I have to do on my handheld. So
yeah,
people don't care.
The whole tech, the consoles place, all of it is heading in a very different direction. Very different direction. A lot of the whole shouting and beating your chest about the power of these things, so much that seems to be taking a back seat, or at least on PlayStation's part. Then you've got different so you got PlayStation's like making this more mass market, more accessible on the price point, and doing a handheld because they want a bit of that Nintendo juice as well. They want a handheld. See the PlayStation Portal. What?
Crap.
What?
I'm glad somebody that knows a lot about AMD just corrected me on the Xbox compute units. It's closer to 68, not 184, which means I need to do some serious editing in my video and re-record a bit.
Who told you that?
Wow. No, somebody DM'd me.
Okay.
I won't say unless they say they can tell me.
Okay.
But I don't really have sources, but I want to protect this. MLD speculates that the AMD Magnus, with its 68 RDNA 5 compute units, they're writing more. So,
okay.
So you're looking at like 20% more, not like 50% more. Yeah, they just said do not say,
Okay.
And it's not a confirmation, but it's closer to what MLID, which is Moore's Law is dead, speculates.
All right.
Yeah.
So
and
the
I
next.
think they're listening right now. So.
All right. Okay. So the next box is more powerful than this 20% more, but whatever. And I don't care about that. I'm saying generally, these guys have just phoned it in. Like is that exciting to you, Colt? You think that's going to be good? Like, what are we going to get with the next consoles? At least, okay, PlayStation has a handheld, which is interesting, exciting, I guess.
Yeah.
So does Xbox. Xbox is everywhere. But the next Xbox will be a hybrid. You'll get to play PC games and everything. What's the next PlayStation 6 going to do to entice you? Sell you a promise of a roadmap? We're coming to the end of this generation, and I'm sorry, but it's been dry on the PlayStation front. You can lap up the Astrobot one game of the year. Thank God for that for PlayStation. Otherwise, it'd be dry. And generally, I'm sorry, but this has been a dry ass gen for PlayStation, man. I've not missed my PlayStation. I had to borrow the PlayStation to play Astrobot. Decent game, would give it an 8 and done. That's it. Like, okay. What next? Ghosts of Yotai, Wolverine.
Sony Santa Monica's sci-fi game, Intergalactic by Naughty Dog,
which is going to come out probably next gen. That's where it's going to be.
Well, I mean, even
game.
Xbox's biggest stuff is right up against next gen as well for timing.
So that's crazy. That means this generation has been so meh. Like, okay, well, now I think it's funny now with the exclusivity just waning. Everything's third party, and consoles don't have that kind of fervor, that kind of unique identifier. Even the Nintendo Switch 2, bro, that thing phoned it in majorly. I'm sorry. I like the Switch. I've been playing it a lot. I love Donkey Kong. That game, Cole, I know you don't like Nintendo games, but I'm pretty sure that just the base mechanics of this game will just appease you. It's just dopamine release. Just punch through. It's like Red Faction if you ever play. You just break through the levels. Keep going. You can go.
Oh, I love that.
It just can go through.
I love that.
You can break that entire levels, man. It's crazy. No one talks about it. People think Donkey Kong is some like little platformer thing. No, man. You just smash through stuff. It's amazing. But the console itself there's two features where trying to come back to the 20th century with video chat, and the feature that it can be used as a mouse. That's Nintendo, the innovative company. Now you've got Xbox. Xbox is by far the most exciting proposition that is making the biggest biggest change. Ponies, is that wrong? Like, well, a hybrid console that can run PC games. Now you can have access to all sorts of devices on your Legion Go, whatever. Xbox are really doing something exciting in the hardware space. What is PlayStation doing? Other than the handheld, what are they doing? It's so dry on the console front. I'm sorry, chat. Unless, again, this is early speculation and whatever. So just it can change. But until we get final confirmation of these things, and maybe when we start to see what these things look like, how they interact, the UI and things like that, I'll be more excited on the PlayStation. But I don't expect major changes, but maybe I'm wrong. And on the Xbox front, I'm more interested on the UI, how they're going to work and integrate Steam. How's that going to work with Xbox? But Xbox is more future-proof in the way it's doing things. We've got the Liz. Shout out to you. Thanks so much for the $10 super chat. In my opinion, Microsoft and Sony will use AI upscaling to make standard 4K 60 affordable for first-party hardware. Microsoft OEM partnerships like Asus can build and sell powerful models for people who want raw power. Like for handhelds or for what? Or just consoles? I'm not sure. Maybe. But the thing is, Microsoft doesn't even need to be in the dedicated hardware space. I'm gonna be sorry. Like the strategy, like all this permits Xbox. Okay, fine, is doing its proprietary hardware, but that thing though, after this gen, it will disappear. Colt, don't you think? Like Xbox will just phone it in, and it will end up using Asus partnerships to build its consoles and things like that. Is that even really a problem now with the way things are?
No, I think it'll be weird because if it's true that the OEM console comes out 1 year from now, when that gets revealed, everyone's like, Xbox hardware's dead. Oh, Lenovo and Razer are making a console. It's over. They're not even going to make their own. And I've heard absolutely otherwise that 2027 is next generation console from Xbox.
2027 is definite.
Their time
100%.
is limited. So OEM console, 1 or 2, I don't know how many variants there'll be, that will have the actual Xbox chip in it. So if you buy, let's say Asus makes a Steam box that plays PC games and it has an Xbox logo on it, you'll be able to log in and all of your Xbox console games and everything will be right there natively, because it'll actually have the same setup that Xbox has for their dev kit. That's what I assume. And then the next year will be the first party console for Xbox. And I wholeheartedly believe Xbox is at like 38, maybe closing in on maybe 40 million consoles right now for Series S and X. Next generation, they'll land somewhere around 20 million consoles by the end of the generation. They have a half-life of their growth that's been happening ever since the Xbox One. So they'll go through this whole generation coming up with half as many consoles sold. And then in order to support everyone's purchases in Xbox Live and everything, they'll let everyone else carry the torch. And hopefully that works out. But most of the experts say that PS6 might be their last console as well. King David says there's no PS6. He's dead wrong on that one, and he'll have to take the knees, right?
Yep, definitely.
But there'll probably be a PS7, but that PS7 will be the absolute death of traditional consoles when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox. So, yeah.
Shout out to Ranty Greek Gamer, goes, Habibi si agapo malaga. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, look, this stuff all doesn't sound that exciting. It sounds like the industry's kind of moving away from the importance of these consoles, which is reflected in the current state of affairs. I'm sorry. If you want the creme de la creme of gaming experiences, it's a PC now. You can build a PC now that will absolutely shit on the PS6 and the next box. That's where it's at. Sony are not going to push things forward based on this. Like, this is it. Like, that's a phoned in vision. Yes, I get it. Like, it's more mass market appeal. You've got a handheld device that's going to further hold things back, right, chat? Like, right, ponies? It's going to do that, right? Because the Series S did it. Can you imagine what how many receipts there must be of PlayStation guys who are gunning Nintendo for being a handheld and why it can never be doing, good experience, like great experiences. This PS6 every game has to be able to run on the handheld, right? That's the whole point. It has to cater for the handheld. Otherwise, it's like the Series S drop the parity clause situation. So are we going to really see devs push this hardware to the limits? And the limit is already that much lower. And then the problem is us PC lot, we get lumbered with shitty ports and held back by consoles that have baseline stats that are not that great. And developers who don't really want to, spend the resources in the AAA space properly to explore things, or even in game design actually be more exploratory. But that's a PS6. Right. So generally, Colt Eastwood has just said the PS6 is shit, the handheld sucks, and Xbox is more powerful. Thank you, Colt, for that. Yeah. Right. Before we go into the madness, and shout out to 330 people live in the chat. Smash the like button, peeps. Smash it. I want to quickly do shit. I need to do
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
I almost did like the shocked face meme. This person says, okay.
Oh, the Moore's
Law doesn't have the full story from the August HLD given to Microsoft either, because it pretty much shizzes on his PlayStation leak. I read that as the Xbox is far more powerful, even with my mistake of the compute units, because let me pull up his actual report. He had some weird Moore's Law. He was leans heavily into PC and PlayStation over Xbox, but he was saying things like 2 times, 6 times more, 50% more, using all these numbers to talk about the leap of the hardware. And when he was, is this the one? Magnus. And then when I look at the numbers and then I hear how he says, this is 2 times more, this does more. When he says something like ray tracing will be 2 times better on the PlayStation 6, but he says it'll be less better on the Xbox when the power differential, so the delta is so much more. It makes me wonder, I'm like, are you kind of fleecing one over the other? Because his report directly about the compute units was, the structure is I'm trying not to be super nerdy, 12 work group processors, which equals 192 compute units. The quote mentions 182 compute units, but 8 of them are disabled, like I said earlier in the show. He says that brings it possibly an extra CUs are disabled separately to land at a total of 184 compute units. And he said there's also a report that says 154, which is probably a typo, which is meant to throw leakers off if they get a hold of this documentation. There's even a number where he says 144 compute units. And then when I get this AMD person who's telling me that it's closer to 60, where is it?
What are you saying?
68.
All this stuff is just gibberish at the end of the day. Who cares?
Yeah. Basically, Moore's Law says that it's going to be almost 200 compute units, but the AMD guy is telling me no, it's more like 70. So he had it off by a factor of 2. He was way off by double the amount of compute units, but it's still 25% more than what PlayStation 6 has. That's my quick math.
Okay,
I don't know.
But that still sounds crap. Even by Moore's Law's Dead's own estimations, it's what
do you mean for PlayStation? I don't know what the frequencies and clocks are of these things. So
it just
they could make up
exciting.
some of the difference.
I mean, if this is their strategy where they're gonna phone it in, then what's the point?
No developers are using all of this extra AI programming. We don't have a lot. It's funny, you're talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza where you were crumbling and destroying the world around you, and you rarely get that. We're finally seeing it with Battlefield 6, and that game is made to run on a base PS5 and Xbox Series S. It's designed for that criteria. So maybe PlayStation's no one's using this extra headroom to make all these NPCs and all of these programming calculations like a Rockstar game would do. No one else is doing this.
That's true. It's kind of true. We can complain about the power specs, but are developers really leveraging that power? I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing any kind of real innovation.
I mean, they're having a hard time making really great games from the AAA space. You get some of the biggest and best legacy developers creating Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and you're like, like, how does Inquisition look so much better and more mature? Which I kind of enjoy some of these games here and there, but
space is so dry in that sense. It's like it's so honed back. Well, obviously, we look at AAA for the biggest strides, but it's not. Anyway, well, you mentioned Battlefield 6. I just want to quickly touch upon that before we talk about how Xbox is clawing the hell out of PlayStation. Before we do that, I have to do a little plug. Shout out to my septicsource.com website.
Looks so good.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad you like it. You haven't said anything to me since I launched it. Not one word. But today you actually.
I was talking about you behind your back. That's why.
I know you were. That's why you never said one thing to me, chat. Not once. I launched the website. Didn't even say one word like, "Hi guys, it was really nice." What does that say, huh? Wanted to let you know, guys. Septicsource.com. Check it out.
Go back. Look at that. Look at that. Helldivers on Xbox.
I need to update that. Look at this sexy website. Go to septicsource.com. But the reason why I'm bringing
Who did all this work?
Jake, man. The genius.
Oh gosh, he's amazing.
Bro, everything like custom made, bro. He took just so good. And people don't know he does the thumbnails for me as well, which takes ages.
He's amazing talent.
Yeah.
The Satya one. I don't remember that one.
Oh, the Satya, yeah, that one shooting perfect dark in the head. Jana dark in the head. But I was gonna say, chat, make sure you enter your email address here, because I am finally doing some dank ass merch. So just sign up and you're gonna get some exclusive things, bruv. Obviously Nightwave Radio, I need to update that last week. I updated it, and you can add your contact form and details and shit. But yeah, do it, bruv. The merch I'm gonna give you is gonna be sick. It's not gonna be Teespring stuff. It's gonna be custom things, bruv. Sign up.
Oh, Teespring is such a shiz company, bro. They burning me so bad right now.
Are they?
Yeah. I had a longtime follower. I have a longtime follower of Ecstasy that is going through cancer treatment and had a really rough time with his family. And he said that the show has really been a nice, entertaining piece for him to keep his mind off of all the difficulties. And I messaged him on Instagram, and we've been talking back and forth. I'm like, hey man, pick something out of my store and I'll send it to you right away. And he picked a hoodie. And well, it's the absolute least I could do for this guy.
Yeah.
And it's been like 8 weeks, and he's like, yo, I don't want to be like that guy, but what happened to that hoodie? I'm like, I don't know. It should have been 2 weeks. And Teespring's like, oh, we're having problem. It's sitting in production. Like they haven't even printed it. Like, oh, some of our vendors are really far behind. I'm like, F you guys.
What?
Like I rely on you to send out I'm supposed to be doing these monthly free giveaways for Patreons and channel members, and Teespring is sitting on my orders.
That's Teespring
like,
shit. They've done that to me as well. That's why I don't want to do that stuff. It's more headache like me, obviously building, but it gives me more creative freedom as well. I do not look like DJ Khaled there, Shabs. He says I look like DJ Khaled in that picture.
Another one.
Look like another one. That fat piece of shit. Yeah, so Battlefield 6, Cole Eastwood. I don't know if you're a big Battlefield guy. Before we talk into all the console war shit, Battlefield 6. I have been eyeing this up, and I've been high and low about this, because 2042 burned me. I played the early playtest, and I was just like, yep, this is shit. This sucks. I'm not, waste of time. But this new one, we finally got the reveal of the dank. Oh, bro, I was so like, I'm gonna play it right now, chat. Put it up on screen. But this game, is going back to. Well, I'll put up the dark side of this thing in. But are you a Battlefield guy? Are you excited about the next Battlefield? We need to squad up, man. Because if you're not, we're gonna make some memes.
Yeah, you guys were making fun. Well, I think Zocker was. I can't wait to play the campaign. I haven't played a great Battlefield campaign in like a decade. So, yeah, I'll play a little bit of I get murked bad on the multiplayer, but yeah, we'll play. Of course.
So see, yeah, it can be a murkage. I'm not gonna lie. On the game, but ultimately, bro, whilst I'm a bit disappointed that they aren't massive strides on in the game in terms of tech, like it's Battlefield 3 and 4 continued. At the same time, I'm just like, I just want a good Battlefield game, and it goes back to its core, like goes back to its root, and that's what this one is doing. While Sorry to do my timestamps. But bro, look how good. Like, still, even though with this is a testament to how good Battlefield actually looked, even last gen, it looked crazy. But this has a level of destruction now that's amazing. It's everywhere. You just see buildings collapsing. Look, all the smoke there. So much shit going down. And in Call of Duty, a window breaks. Yeah. So it's just, as always, Battlefield always does this. It has all this dynamism, all this destruction, really good stuff in there. And it just makes you remind you that Call of Duty is so basic in comparison. It happens every time a new Battlefield is coming out, but this one looks absolute sauce, man.
I mean, but the Call of Duty campaigns are so awesome. Like, they've mostly been pretty good lately.
Yeah,
but everyone's really pissed off about Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, and all that stuff. And you can't deny that works so well for Fortnite. You can't fault Call of Duty for trying to cash in on that, but Fortnite's aesthetic alone just begs for you to play as Goku or Family Guy or whatever. That stuff's amazing. Or Sabrina Carpenter, like my son does.
Yeah, that works. That works for Fortnite, but it shouldn't work for a serious like multiplayer game that's a military-based game that Call of Duty is supposed to be, and it has Beavis and Butthead and all sorts of dumb shit. A unicorn gun that just farts or shits rainbows and stuff. Like, what the hell is that? Look at this. This is the madness. I wish I could play the soundtrack. It's got Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff just remixed, and it's sick. But just it looks so good.
Who would have thought that song would be cool again?
I know. You know what? That's so funny, isn't it? Like, it's Devil May Cry, the anime. They've got it on Netflix. It's really good, actually. It's pretty decent, not amazing. But their starting intro theme is Rolling by Limp Bizkit, and you hear it after a while, like, yo, you know what, man? That was actually a really, really...
Maybe we were a bit too harsh, yeah.
It was a really good song, but obviously it's a bit weird. He kind of made it weird. Just the guy was weird. What's his name? I forgot his name now. But,
Fred Durst.
Fred Durst, that's it. Thank you. But it's really good songs. But yeah, this Battlefield 6 looks amazing. Not only is it's going back to its core, it's got its own... I wish I should have got the video up, but it's got its own level, a level designer that looks amazing. Day one, you don't have to wait for like a year or a hot two for Halo's Infinite Forge. This one's launching day one, has its own server, what's it called? Server, I can't talk. Basically, server search thing, whatever, to search your servers, Blad.
Dedicated servers?
No, of course it has dedicated servers, like 64 players, but I'm talking about how you search games. Chat, my brain's not working.
Matchmaking.
Yeah, well, you can use servers like, the server thing, the server.
I can't help you
browser,
anymore.
The word browser. Thank you, Captain Awesome. My brain is dead. Server browser. That's all I was trying to say. Browser. Oh my god. Server browser. It's gonna be portals.
Brown server. Server Browns. Brownson servers. Bronsons.
Paris Lily went out there to play, and I saw a video of him rocket a helicopter.
He's like, waiting to meet you in real life.
yeah, I'm gonna see him soon. Not long now. But the game looks amazing. Chat, are you guys excited about this game? Are you guys gonna be playing it? Because I am telling you, Cole, I'm starving for a serious, meaty multiplayer. There were good games like The Finals was really good. I need to actually play that on PC. That was probably the best multiplayer game I've played this gen, but it's still like it felt like more of an experimental game in short bursts. That game's got actually incredible destruction as well. But Battlefield 6 might be the multiplayer game that brings me back into multiplayer properly for a brand new game this generation. So I can't wait for that, man. I think it's going to be epic. I'm going to do a poll, actually. Are you excited about BF6? This is a day one for me. And I think the 10th of October is the release date, and I think that's a perfect time to release this, man. I think because you don't want it next year with the GTA shit going down. 2026 is locked down for GTA, I'm sorry. But this game...
Wait, what's the release date for this?
10th of October. 10th of October, right, chat?
Okay. Of next year, right?
This year, bro. This year.
Okay.
No, not next year. Next year would be shit for that. That would be GTA 6 territory.
That's why I thought you were saying that.
No. It's 10th of October. It's going to be a wicked game, man. They've shown us a lot. They're back to the classes again until 2042, just completely murked this shitty classes system, whatever the hell it was. Now it's back to, I think it's Recon, Assault, Support, and who else? Recon, Assault, Support, and I forget the last one, chat. But yeah, looks brilliant. The jet gameplay they showed off a lot of the old maps, which is fine. It looked brilliant. It looks atmospheric as hell. There's one map of the mountains and stuff. It just looks amazing, man. And that kind of, it's just, I can't wait to play this game. And Vince Zampella, he's earned some of the benefit of the doubts here. You say you like them, the single player of Call of Duty. This has an entire dev team building the single player for this game, and it might be. Oh, really, I know,
and I
really
love their their campaigns.
Yeah. Gonna be amazing. Yeah. Oh, Christopher Jetson, thank you for the $5 super chat. I didn't realize that until you've just super chatted that. He says October has Battlefield 6, Kingmakers in early access, and Ark Raiders, which is gonna be a big multiplayer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All offer something
How
different.
are we keeping up with this?
Before this, bro, it is a nightmare. Like all this stuff. I have so many games to play, bro. I don't know. I know you fell away with the Expedition 33 with in Act 2.
Yeah.
Please try and just go a little bit further, man. Because oh my god, the story beats and stuff. You will feel it, man. And I know. I got
lost, guys. I got lost.
The way it does do things is a bit weird. Well, we can do a little Discord thing, and I could guide you.
Yeah, maybe.
But bro, the story just hits. Like they don't make games like this anymore. Like it's like this is such a rare gem almost. It feels like this doesn't belong in this era. It's just so weird. How did this small team deliver something that has such a unique identity that kind of sent Square Enix back to the drawing board with their own RPGs? They're actually consulting this small company of people. It's amazing. They had a passion for this project. Like group of 30 of them came together. This guy's like, look, I have a really good combat system in mind. I have a really good story in mind, really good premise in mind. And when you go back, when you just dedicate the time to even the combat, like my friend Dean jumped on Discord with me and then kind of guided me through some of the characters I wasn't using. And he said, hey, by the way, you try this build. And then you start to, I'm terrible at this as people watch my Sekiro stream, actually sit down and read stuff. I read stuff and then build that based on those talent. The game releases dopamine like mad when it hits. When I've got Lune, you may not understand what I'm saying here, but Lune, I've just respect her for crit damage, and I'm literally.
No, I know. I played like 20 plus hours of it. I just got midway into Act 2 and couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go. Not in the overworld map. I was in one of the main locations and. Yeah. Yeah,
I know what you mean because sometimes they're quite small maps. You just have to persevere through. And I think you'll like it. The story will get you. You were about to say something though, or you're gasping for air. What the hell happened there?
No, I was just saying. I realized, one of them I was in the wrong location, and so I went to the overworld map and figured out how to activate the next quest. And I don't know.
We'll go back. I don't know.
Just moved on to something else.
We got Knight. Thank you so much for the super chat. Goes full slate, Gaz. Can't wait when that happens, bro. We're gonna make some memes. Vince and Brian leading the Battlefield 6 project. Both COD veterans. I played the playtest. It's back, baby. Thank you so much, Captain Chaz, for that. And a lot of people who have played the playtest. I remember Blaze was telling me that, Gaz, don't write it off. This is really good. The atmosphere is amazing. A lot of people of you, like 8% of you said that you're excited about Battlefield. I think Battlefield is going to be back in a big way and at the right timing as well. I think the next COD is going to be shit, most likely. And it's going to be... everyone always says Battlefield is going to bury COD, but I hope it does because this is they're just doing so much more. They're just doing so much more. So I'm really hyped for Battlefield, man. And yeah, you're right. Thank you for that super chat earlier that mentioned how many multiplayer games we're finally getting. Thank you, Christopher Jetser. And Ark, I really want to play. So that's going to be a dank one. Did you hear? This is going to hurt you because I know you also are a big Bioshock fan. I don't know who isn't, but Bioshock. What's happening with Bioshock, bro? What happened?
They can't make it. They don't have Ken Levine, and so it's in development hell. It's been in the works for, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 years or something. And it had an executive team review, and they didn't like it. So they're telling them to keep working on it, or they just haven't announced that they're going to cancel it. On the flip side, Ken Levine's Judas was supposed to come out in 2025. They had said at one point that they were targeting the window of 2025, and here it is, coming almost gone. I doubt we're going to get an announcement for a 2025 release of Judas, but if you want your Bioshock fix, it's not happening anytime soon. I would assume that Judas is coming out in 2026. Who knows? Like, these big developers, they just rework and work over things forever, and we're the fans waiting for Mass Effect, and we're waiting for Elder Scrolls, and
Yeah.
it's awful. And a lot of us we cut our teeth in these franchises that are so incredible, that birthed on the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, and we're waiting for that reemergence or their redemption arc on this generation of consoles, and I don't even know if we're going to see them this gen. Sucks.
It's weird, isn't it? Like Mass Effect is a huge one. You know what? At this point, just do it right. I don't care if it's next gen, as long as I live to next gen. I want to play a good Mass Effect game, and I don't even know if enough of BioWare, the right team exists to even do Mass Effect justice again. But yeah, this sounds really, really bad news for Bioshock fans. I was actually looking forward to it, but at the same time, Xbox has you covered to a certain degree with what's it called, Clockwork, a Revolution, because that looks good. Yeah, it has kind of those.
That's kind of like your Bioshock-ish game, yeah. I think. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just loads of this shit that's happening. It's kind of wank. They said we are working hard to set Bioshock up for the best possible future. Right now we have a good game, but we are committed to delivering a great one. We are working closely with leadership at the studio to define the path. But it's weird. The new Bioshock, which is being produced by Cloud Chamber, recently failed a review by executives at 2K Games, the publisher subsidiary of Take-Two. Said so they weren't able to talk too much about it, but basically not looking good, bruv. Go back to the drawing board, Blad. This is all marketing speak. It clearly wasn't good enough for the exec saying this is not good enough. I don't know how that happened, but unless they're not they're gamers, like hardcore gamers, making that decision. Anyway, that's Bioshock, and that's getting lasered. Fired the laser. The lasered. Yeah, Cole. Now the main talk chat. You're waiting for this one. Xbox. Oh, Xbox. It was supposed to have been finished. Console war's over. What's going on? Xbox has no games. Xbox has such shit games. No one wants to buy your games. And then the truth bomb hit. Xbox dominated the entire freaking PlayStation. PlayStation guys who are supporting Xbox. What do you say?
Did you like my meme of the little short Arabic guy trying to put whipped cream on his sleeping buddy? Dude, that guy is so. He's like, do the moonwalk, do the moonwalk. That guy.
Yeah. I'll try to bring it up if I can. Oh man, bro. So Xbox is dominating PlayStation's charts, or PlayStation is basically helping Microsoft make a shit ton of money, which is the reason why Sony's like thinking, you know what, they've ripped off the Band-Aid. Microsoft is dominating these charts, is now a mega publisher. Why can we not make the same kind of money? Like Xbox took so much heat for the multi-plat strat that PlayStation is not going to get it as hard as Sony did. PlayStation, other than the group of people who emailed Sony in a group like Nibs. Shout out to Nibs, who I'm sure wrote an email to Sony saying, you know, please don't do it. I've got it right here. Good old Nibs.
My whole Twitter account relies on this.
PlayStation fans against multi-platform games email Sony, and the response they got was pretty much, don't worry about it, we've got you covered. We'll always find ways to make you feel valued. Which is such a you know where this is going.
It's such a great breakup note, you know, from a girl, you know.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Okay.
Oh my god. And so
we had good times together.
Yeah, we had good times, but don't worry.
but now I'm seeing Xbox. I mean, they lied. They lied. PlayStation fans don't only want Xbox games, they need them, and they're buying them in droves.
Best-selling game of PlayStation is in 2025 is a
when Satya says we are dominating the sales chart on PlayStation and Xbox, yet again another lie has surfaced that Xbox guys don't buy games. Xbox's publishing arm is winning on the console and on the PlayStation console. Everything that PlayStation only fans say is a lie. They don't, well, it's not really a lie. They just don't know what they're talking about. They don't pay attention. They listen to what Phil Spencer says. They're not listening to Hiroki Totoki, Sean Layden, or Jim Ryan.
Yeah.
Everything they say comes out, sounds like a lie, but they're just too dumb to understand where the industry is heading. And the great Oliver McKenzie of Digital Foundry tried to call me out last week saying, Colt, this isn't where a magic way the industry is heading, where games are going multi-platform. Xbox is only doing it out of desperation. It was basically what he said to me when I said exclusives are dissolving. The very next day, PlayStation's like, we need to put games on Xbox and mobile and PC. So pay attention to where the market's going. And if you want to know and understand where the market's going, think about yourself as a consumer first, and you'll finally be able to see the forest for the trees. And it's what fanboys can't do. They're so concerned about the list war, the sales figures, the charts from VG charts. They don't understand that Xbox's games are just as good as PlayStation. Xbox games are selling like crazy, and PlayStation cannot rely. Jim Ryan said back in 2021, you are not enough. That was his quote. The console, the PS5 users are not enough. And they've been pushing beyond that. And it just makes me laugh that they're so shocked. Oh, they're clutching their pearls like, oh my gosh, how is this happening? How are they putting games on other platforms? How are Xbox's games dominating the PlayStation sales charts and the most played? Because if you make great games, people are going to be happy. And if you keep thinking of yourself as a list war instead of consumer, you're going to put laughing and crying emojis in the chats over and over saying Xbox is dead when they're growing bigger than ever. Just pay attention. It's not that difficult. And there's actually a better world for you out there as a gaming consumer if you just embrace it. Just let this happen.
Well, I mean, this one is hard to kind of twist. You've got these figures right here. You've got Satya Nadella on Xbox, 500 million monthly active users. And you know,
wait, say it in his voice.
500 million monthly active users. You want competition? So 500 months. We want to compete. 500 million monthly active users across platforms and devices. We all know how monthly active users are really important for what's it called? Sony now as well. They basically announced that that's more priority than hardware sales, and yeah. And then the second biggest, we are now the top publisher on both Xbox and PlayStation this quarter. That is insane. Like publisher, Microsoft's publisher is doing so much better than it was as a third party publisher. Not gonna lie, obviously it's aligned with the releases of games and things like that, but clearly the 4-year-old Forza Horizon has long legs when it's making. So PlayStation guys buy that game more than anything else. I'm sure that thing will change when Ghost of Yotai comes out, because there's no way.
Hold on. We have an amoeba in the chat. Seal Swim says Satya is happy because he found customers that actually buy games. It always amazes me that humans can type, but they can't effing read. He says, quote, we are now the top publisher on both Xbox and PlayStation this quarter, which means, Gaz,
what
did Xbox guys buy games?
I've got why are you pandering to the troll, see if Wolf Swim or whatever his name is. Even if they didn't, like, if they didn't buy games, why is PlayStation bringing their games to a platform and they don't buy games? why they
because Xbox fans buy games. The best part is that Xbox fans subscribe to Game Pass and make PlayStation or Xbox a ton of money, but they also buy a ton of games. And if they didn't, I don't think Game Pass would survive if people only just sat on 35 million or whatever it is Game Pass subscriptions, because I probably play if I beat 20 to 30 games a year, which I usually do, half of those are on Game Pass. The rest I buy at full price. And then some are like backlogs that I haven't gotten to, but whatever.
Clearly, Sony.
It's just how it is.
Sony has some value in it. They literally hired a guy and paying him $69,000, and his job is to bring games to Xbox and PC. And Helldivers is coming to not to Game Pass, it's coming to Xbox. Clearly, Sony, the market leader, sees value in bringing games to Xbox. So this whole they don't buy games. Well, you guys not only buy games, you buy 4-year-old racing games more than your own big tentpole releases. And you sit in and chat shit. And then Game Pass is not sustainable.
This is the reason why they're doing it.
That freaking Game Pass annual review was $5 billion for the first time. $5 billion, and people say, "Oh, that's revenue, not profit."
How much was Bungie?
What, the acquisition of
Was it Bungie?
3.8.
Yeah, how much was the acquisition of Bungie?
$3.8 billion. Which was 1.8 or something was staff retention. And then
In 1 year, Game Pass alone's revenue could purchase Bungie twice. Well, maybe Bungie now, it's probably worth they could buy it 3 times the way Bungie is.
Yeah, Bungie's
but
probably worth like
this is the real reason why they're doing this. The shift in the strategy is not because Xbox guys don't buy games according to the amoebas. The reason is the majority of gaming users are only playing Fortnite, Warzone, FIFA, Madden, and Roblox and Minecraft. They're playing one game the entire year over and over. They don't buy multiple games like you and I do.
Yeah.
Like when I spend $700 a year on just video games, I am not the typical your chat here, the 285, almost 300 people who are watching the show and chatting. We all buy 10 to 30 games per year, every year, rain or shine. But we're not the typical gaming fan. That's why Xbox and Microsoft are like desperately trying to figure out different ways to get people to buy more games. And when you spend $200 million or $300 million on a AAA game, you're really hoping that somebody plays that game or at least engages with it somehow. So
yeah,
another thing, pay attention.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Unless it's Concord and it should be $400 million and nothing happens. But that's a huge thing, Cole. 5 billion in revenue for Game Pass is major. Like, you can say it's a distinction between revenue and profit is important. Of course it is, but at the same time, $5 billion in revenue. What do you think? How much? Where are the dev costs on $5 billion? What, they're making 2 GTA 6s? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how much is the cumulative impact or cost of dev on that? And that's a big jump. That's a big jump. Like, it was 1 billion at one point, no? And then it's just next time you see it's 5. Like, that's huge. So Game Pass is obviously getting an audience. Now, I do think it's quite telling that they don't divulge the number of subscribers for Game Pass. I think that would be more telling.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't, did they? No.
And I think that
because a large chunk of those are also a large chunk are the Xbox Live Gold people on Game Pass Core. Like, they're paying just to get access. It might actually not be a big chunk. I wonder how many people are like, why should I pay for Core? I'll just get Ultimate and get everything. I don't know how that works, but apparently Microsoft and Xbox are pretty happy with the way Game Pass is going. Like, they're making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And I laugh at the people that think that it costs over $5 billion to operate their studios and Game Pass in this. It would be like assuming that Hellblade, Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, Oblivion Remaster, like, as a collective, that those games all lost money. Otherwise, that's the only way that you could say that Game Pass is not profitable, is if they were losing money on all their first-party games, but they were making a bunch of revenue in Game Pass. And this is how stupid the people are who are bending over backward. Even a prominent journalist, a semi-prominent journalist that I really like, that was saying like, oh, well, maybe it's, this is why it's not profitable. How about this? How about this? I'm like, why are you looking for confirmation bias when Xbox and Microsoft's financial report tells you they're making a ton of money? We all should be saying, why the F are you laying off 9,000 employees across your organization when you're making so much revenue? But people are so hell-bent on saying that Game Pass is not profitable purely for one reason, Gaz, and you're not going to like the answer.
Yep.
It's because they don't have Game Pass
100%.
on their own platform, so they can't
100%.
fathom why someone else would, why this would be a successful business model. Well, PlayStation's not doing it, Nintendo's not doing it. Well, why? Because they don't have to. Xbox has a totally different market strategy that's working for them. And then when you watch PlayStation follow in many of the footsteps that Xbox is doing, you have to wonder, why are we listening to these people who hate and are looking for confirmation bias against Xbox? Their games are better than ever. The platform's growing bigger and faster than ever, and they're giving you a better value. You should be looking at, are they doing things right? Why are they laying off employees?
Yeah.
And F them for doing that.
I am. You hit the nail on the head there. That's you smashed it. And that's exactly the kind of like focus that I'm not seeing on people, but the sustainability of Game Pass and Xbox, it's clearly based on this thing. This argument that they don't have it. That's the reality of it. Chat, Cole, I have a choice. Cole, you can actually do me a massive solid right now, which I'm going to drop in a bit.
Okay.
I need you to take the reins of the show.
I thought you wanted to take my shirt off.
No, because I'm going to drop some memes. Either end the show because my stomach is murked because I had a coffee before the show, which means I need to go and drop some dank memes, or you take on the show and talk to the chat.
I can take on while you take it too.
You're
while you
the
take a number 3.
I'm gonna do a number 2, number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Is it gonna be one of those where it comes back out of the water? Like,
yeah, it's gonna be a solid one. But thank you so much.
all right, you got to give me something to talk about, and I'll chat with the chat in the chat.
But yeah, just talk about the Game Pass system and all that narrative, that nonsense narrative that we're hearing as well, and just run with it, man. Talk to the chat. I'll be 10 minutes.
Okay, well,
10 minutes.
all right, I will. Okay. 10 minutes. Knowing Gaz, it may be 30.
It's so true.
Yeah. So I've been on Game Pass. I've been a Game Pass subscriber since 2017, right? I think that's when it started. And for the better part of probably 4 years of that, we as Xbox fans have not had a very stellar offering month to month. And a lot of us stuck it out for a long time. But you cannot deny that this past 3 years, Game Pass has been incredible. But it's interesting to me that journalists will continually attack or look for the soft spot in the armor of the dragon that is Game Pass. When Satya Nadella says they're making $5 billion, you need to understand how much money that is. One of the big arguments is like, where's the profit? Why aren't they saying the profit numbers? Well, Xbox has been so shiz for so long. I would say for almost 10 years. They've been down in the dumps and struggling to make their way in this gaming space from the faults of the Xbox One launch. That they stopped reporting profit numbers several years ago. And so just because they're doing a lot better, I think their justification is we shouldn't start announcing profit numbers yet. I don't know. I think it's asinine. It's good for the stakeholders and the shareholders, but then as fans or games media journalists, we're like, well, we want to be able to talk about the hard information. You can't even get profit margins. You can't get an operating margins report from Xbox either. Yes, just gifted 5 channel memberships while he's sitting on the toilet. And shout out to 9 Lives, God Emperor Sofa King, Nate State Gaming, CPT Awesome Time 23, and the 5th one goes to 1, 2, 3, 4 himself. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. De Silva says, normally companies stop reporting profit when the numbers are so bad that it brings bad publicity. Absolutely. Yeah. And, maybe the profit margins are still pretty low, but I know there was a report that PlayStation's operating margin, which is I think the delta between the revenue and the profit, is fairly narrow. And that's why PlayStation has made pivots into a more multi-platform approach, and they're changing some of the way they do things and starting to put smaller games on Xbox. And I'm going to start folding into that topic. Believe it or not, I actually run my own podcast. I don't know how I do it. And I'm here by myself for a few minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to just like take it nice and easy. But Nate the Hate, who is a very credible leaker and insider who normally reports on Nintendo stuff and some PlayStation Xbox stuff, he was the one that correctly reported that Final Fantasy Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 were eventually going to make their way in Xbox on 2025, and it did. He has also reported about the Oblivion remaster and so much more. He is also reporting about the multi-platform strategy for PlayStation, and he says that my opinion remains, this was 2 hours ago, he said, my opinion remains live service PlayStation and smaller PlayStation games will come to Xbox, but we'll see what Sony has planned. I'm not expecting anything in the immediate future. I also don't expect PlayStation to put any big games like Days Gone or Returnal onto the Xbox platform until about a year from now. That wait seems like it's going to be a long time, but I was there. Wait, who was that? What's his name? Like Lord Elrond says, I was there the day that we lost the war and the ring was lost. I was there when PlayStation announced they were going to put games on more platforms, and it was exactly a year later that they put Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam, and that rocked the PlayStation world because I thought they would never do that because one of PlayStation's slogans was only on PlayStation. And I told this story on another podcast. It might have been on mine, I don't know. But I told this story that I was talking to Aaron Greenberg after the Xbox showcase in 2019. I said, do you think PlayStation will ever put their games on PC? And he said, I talked to a lot of people at PlayStation. I can't see them doing it ever. And if they did, it would take years from now. And that was the same summer that PlayStation announced that they were going to do a more multi-platform approach. And Aaron Green was wrong. A year later, Horizon Zero Dawn came, and then it was God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank, which could only run on a PlayStation SSD. So we are going to chat a little bit about PlayStation's multi-platform approach. Gaz says they are hiring for a guy. They're paying up to $370,000 a year for Patapon. What's Patapon? Tell me in the chat what Patapon is. Yeah, they are definitely going to be deciding which games come to PlayStation. And like I said earlier, as soon as it's a first-party single-player game, it's over. The narrative of their first-party bangers is just a ticking time bomb. PlayStation has every right to put the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection on Xbox. That series probably doesn't sell like it used to. Putting a massive mascot on Xbox would definitely hurt the way people perceive the brand. But I've already shown you the numbers for years that 7 to 8% of the console user base buys the exclusives. There are exceptions, like Spider-Man sold like 30% of the console user base. But if you take all of their first-party exclusives and you average them out versus the per capita of console users, Xbox and PlayStation sit around 7 to 8% of the engagement or attachment rate for their exclusives. So Jim Ryan has said it, Phil Spencer's saying it, like franchises need more players to survive. So Ninja Duck says, who cares if PlayStation and Xbox are full third party? The people that care are the ones that have to use bragging rights, that they're in this special country club that bought this white colored console or the black colored console, and then that's their special exclusivity agreement. But would you buy something as old as Uncharted? Because at this point, Uncharted 3 came out in 2011. So the Uncharted franchise is over 20 years old, right? So you're kind of looking at a 15 to 20-year-old franchise. It could go to Xbox and it wouldn't hurt. When Master Chief Collection or the Master Chief Combat Evolved, Halo Combat Evolved comes to PlayStation, it will be a big moment. And it will, all of this, the wounds will come back up where people are freaking out like, oh my gosh, Master Chief, Halo is on PlayStation. And it's going to be an absolute war when that announcement comes. But I'm sitting here thinking, I've told it would be a ton of work, but why not put Master Chief Collection on there first? Master Chief Collection would sell like hotcakes on the PlayStation console, but I talked to somebody who works with the people, somebody close to Xbox that said there would be so much work to bring all that entails of Master Chief Collection over to PlayStation with the multiplayer stuff, it would be an absolute nightmare. So they don't feel like it's worth it. But I think it would sell like crazy. When it comes to Spider-Man, Destin Legary has been talking about, will Spider-Man come to console? And a lot of people are saying it would do really well. Chris Dring really had an exception to the possibility or the impact of Spider-Man, the 2018 game launching on Xbox. Chris Dring said that no one would buy it because they all already own it. I'm one of those Xbox fans who have it. How do you feel, Gaz? Would you buy Spider-Man again on Xbox, even though you have a PC, just to spite PlayStation's ridiculous exclusivity push?
I would. I barely touched the Xbox. I will go back to play.
You barely touched the porcelain a few minutes ago.
Oh. Bro, I made so many Dreamcast guy videos, it's not even funny. I just produced his whole channel in that toilet, bruv.
Christopher Hart, speaking of that whole like toilet bowl thing, Christopher Hart says y'all ain't getting Spider-Man. Christopher Hart, guess what? We're getting Spider-Man regardless. And this is what we haven't even touched on, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
That Spider-Man is going to be on the next generation Xbox via Steam, which we can buy it, we can play it, and it will be nearly seamless. It will launch in the background. It'll be full screen on your TV. You'll play it with an Xbox controller, and you bought it from PlayStation and Steam. PlayStation knows this, Christopher Hart. And the reason why they're hiring someone and paying him over $300,000 at him or her, $300,000 a year to bring games to Xbox is because PlayStation might want to head them off at the pass and say, let's cut out the middleman. Let's tell Xbox we'll give you 18 or 15% instead of 30%. And then we'll make ports for you guys because you're getting them either way. So why don't we just cut a deal and make it more advantageous for us as PlayStation? So Christopher Hart, I wouldn't sit there and say never, because never is going to chomp off the tiny bits. And it always does.
Christopher Hart is you're gonna learn, man. You're gonna learn, because it's coming.
Gonna learn.
It's gonna be the next Xbox, or it's gonna be like, this is what we're talking about with Jez the other day when he was on. I was like, why not? If you know this is happening, why would you? If you're Sony, you know for a fact Microsoft will give you a better deal. Like 100%, Microsoft will give you 8% deal on better than Steam. You know that's coming. The next Xbox is going to be playing Steam, and they're going to play Spider-Man. Why not release it now? Maximum value. You'll make millions. You'll make millions, and you're going to scoff that and say no. You've already made.
Because Christopher Hart's thinking of himself as a list war console warrior in the trenches instead of a consumer.
Yeah, but
and if you think as a consumer, then you come to the same thing that you just said, that PlayStation would be happy to cut a deal with Xbox.
Absolutely.
Knowing that their console is not direct competition anymore. The PlayStation 6 will sell way far over whatever the Xbox or this OEM thing does, and it won't hurt them whatsoever. At all. Won't even hurt Xbox.
Honestly, they serve to make money. If you're a PlayStation, think about it. Like, I know PlayStation guys is a sore topic. I know it hurts, but you're telling me that Sony would, either way, it's coming to Xbox. You think they're gonna lose out? Like they've already made it easy with Helldivers. They didn't even do a apology tour like Phil Spencer did with just 4 games.
Where were the insiders that like Helldivers come? All these guys are like, I've had inside with PlayStation. They knew nothing about their own platform putting out one of their most popular games.
Was saying the same thing, like, and they were making fun of them so much. And where are you now? Like, you guys are not one of the PlayStation insiders. Like, the best PlayStation insider is an Xbox era. It's Special Nick. That's the crazy part. That's the insane part.
I love Nick. Yeah. I love it.
What happened to your Zuby Tech sources? You got no one. You're talking about Shinobi said this and that. Well, Shinobi didn't know about Helldivers. The Tie Ducks. He's just a fanboy in a forum, man. He has no sources, and he's been wrong so much.
That's a big deal. Like, one of the most profitable and most popular games of last year, or possibly one of the most profitable first-party games from PlayStation this generation, gets an announcement to Xbox, and nobody on the PlayStation side, they didn't get, like, like you said, PlayStation say, hey, come here, I gotta Can you sit down? Here, let me put my arms around you. We're going to do something. You're not going to like it. It's going to hurt, but we're going to do it. But if you just open up and relax, it will go in a lot easier.
What the hell are you talking about? That sounds so wrong. Oh, man.
Open up your mind.
Open up your mind.
Open up your mind and let the idea in.
It's bro. When that happens,
I always tell Gaz doesn't like some of my tweets. I'm like, did I not mention enough, butt stuff to meet your approval and your quality ratings?
That's it. It's true. You need more. You need more butt stuff. Especially if you're talking about ponies, it has to happen. It's insane. The worst thing is for PlayStation guys, that Helldivers 2 was really a problem because they already tried to stick their aura and say, oh, it's a hybrid console, it doesn't count if your next Xbox can play PlayStation games. Like, because your definition of it, oh, it's a hybrid. Okay, but it's still an Xbox.
Okay,
it's not an Xbox. All right,
if that makes you feel better. I mean, it only plays all the Xbox games plus every PlayStation game that's on PC, so it doesn't count. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you say.
No, you know what? Just buy your PlayStation 6 that is got a handheld and has phoned in the text.
Absolutely restricted, like consoles always are.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get the console and I'm gonna play on PC that has no restrictions. And then the Xbox console hybrid will have far fewer restrictions. But okay, that's a bad thing. Yeah, I hope it doesn't hurt too much. I hope I don't have a hard time next generation with that. Think as a consumer.
It boils down to execution, though. You know how shit Xbox can be in execution, especially with hardware and software. So I'm really intrigued to see how they do it. Like, is this going to be a console that is attractive to me as a PC gamer, like primarily PC gaming now? Like, obviously I end up buying the day one for PlayStation and for Xbox, so I will end up buying all of these consoles, but will I actually use it? And I think really I would. Like, if Xbox is building this kind of ecosystem where everything, like Steam is really important to me now. In fact, I'm not selling Game Pass, and I buy stuff on Steam. Like, if this next Xbox uses Steam and incorporates it really well, I know you're saying low sales for the next Xbox, but I'm saying the potential if Xbox, obviously the next Xbox console is going to be everywhere, like this idea of whatever this Xbox is, but the potential for the next Xbox console that's a hybrid to sell really well, better than the Series X, I think is quite high if executed properly. Because in regions where Xbox is not even existent, in like Middle East, in Far East Asia, and in a lot of Europe now, it will start to, if it's advertised well, if it's developed well, and if software works well, and it actually pitched as a hybrid console that is a bridge for a lot of people who want to get into PC gaming but find that PC gaming is a bit too convoluted for them, or a bit expensive, or for a myriad of reasons, that it just seems a bit out of their reach.
Can be.
It can be extremely.
And it can be convoluted.
It can be convoluted, absolutely. PC gamers.
And you said the best part, that on the other half of the world where I live, UK Xbox does pretty well, but in the EU and Asia and Middle East, the Xbox console it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft is betting on the idea that if we sell them more than just the Xbox, that they'd actually be interested. I don't know if that'll work, but an OEM console or an OEM PC hybrid that also plays Xbox games, if you own some, or if you have bought some games, then there could be people like, oh, okay, because we always think of people as being completely binary in how they play their games, but the reality is people own a ton of games on Steam. They own a handful of games on Xbox and a chunk of games on PlayStation. And if they look at this board and they're like, oh, if I get this thing that's Xbox official, I can play all my PC games and then I can have back the 300 games I bought on Xbox. Like, that can actually mean something to people.
Yeah.
So we just don't usually look at it that way, because we think that we're on this certain team with a certain jersey and that's where it ends. But that's not how the world works, and that's why Xbox and PlayStation are changing exclusivity.
Yeah. No,
I don't know how Nintendo does it. They're absolutely brilliant, and they never factor into these discussions This never works in translation. They're just magic on their own, and I respect them for that.
I think they understand that. So Nintendo's unique identifier is so unique that they can ride the wave on their own. I mean, the Switch 2 is just selling like mad, and it's got Donkey Kong, and obviously it'll sell more, and its software is so compelling that they're just in their own lane, and I do respect that. Although it's weird that they try to swerve into the lane of multiplats as well, and Battlefield 6 is not on Nintendo Switch 2, and all you keep seeing this week is like, oh, this is not on Switch 2, this game is not on Switch 2, this game's not on Switch 2. So Nintendo's device seems to be pretty underpowered for what Nintendo was hoping would pull in quite a lot of multiplat or third parties, because so many games are not on the Switch 2. Did anyone watch the Nintendo Partners Direct? I didn't watch it. Oh, Cold's gone. I didn't watch it.
No, nothing. I was going to see if I could fix my camera, but it's fine. Hopefully I didn't mess you up.
No, that's all good. So it's like, like it's weird, but ultimately this whole strategy it's going to be interesting, man. Like I don't know what's happened. It's gone. The idea of how we had consoles has really disappeared. Exclusivity has disappeared, or is disappearing for a lot, apart from Nintendo. PlayStation's still there. Obviously, Helldivers is not the everything, but at the same time, the signal is there. And once those single-player games start coming, it's like it's arbitrary. It disappeared when it came to PC. But Sony's strategy.
Yeah, I mean that's why I try to be really careful when I craft a tweet or a post, and I use the word dissolving on purpose because I know that it's a coverall word that. Like Oliver McKinsey at Digital Foundry looked at my tweet like I was saying exclusives are gone. I mean, I obviously know they're not gone. They're just dissolving and fading away, and that like they're crumbling out from underneath the concept of the foundation of what we thought exclusives were. And I do that stuff on purpose, and it drives me crazy that people will just take a word and use their own confirmation bias. But you're right. The idea of exclusivity, where this game only works on here, this cartridge only fits here, that you have to buy this console or you can't play this game ever, and that's the way, like the Insomniac said, Spider-Man is never coming to other platforms, and they're getting eaten alive by the never comment. But that concept is dissolving, and I think PlayStation is quietly happy to discuss the concept of putting a ticking time bomb on their games, like only on PlayStation, at least until Nixus is ready for the port. And I wouldn't be surprised if they'd like to bolster up more teams that could put their games on PC. And the thing that drives me crazy, guys, I'm like, why doesn't PlayStation make their own PC ports? Everyone else on the planet is making PC and console ports. Every major publisher, every major studio and small studio, they make a game on the PC, they build the PC version, they certify it through Steam, and then they make the Nintendo version or the PlayStation version or the Xbox version. But PlayStation's like, we're Naughty Dog, we only make the PlayStation version. Nixus will handle the PC port. I'm like, you're building the game on a PC. So I think PlayStation's going to have to figure out how to work into the pipeline for their studios to make PC versions of the game while they're finishing, like Intergalactic. Right now, Naughty Dog should absolutely be building the game and readying it for PC and PlayStation. And if PlayStation or Sony tells them, we want Intergalactic on PC 6 to 12 months after it launches on PlayStation, then they can say, great, we'll optimize for PC after we've launched the game, if we have a window. And if the game is ready to launch and Sony says, we want Intergalactic on PC and PlayStation day and date, then they can ready that and optimize them both. Well, and that's probably something we're going to see.
I suspect that Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic, is going to be someone says DM'd me, sorry. It's going to be yeah, I don't know.
And by the way, the ports are really, really good. Outside of a couple of PlayStation ports that have had some issues, like The Last of Us Remaster, the PC community is super happy with how high quality the ports are of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden West, and Zero Dawn. Like those PC ports are incredible, far and above whatever PlayStation 5 gets. So Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so
You got it.
Tarnished actually sent me a DM just linking an article, which I'll bring up here. But basically, it's from Tweaktown, and it says that 80% of developers are making games for PC now.
There you go.
Yeah.
The other 20% are PlayStation and Nintendo devs, because everyone else is the 80%.
Yeah. GDC, here it is on screen right now. With a lot of ads on Tweaktown's website. Holy shit, it looks disgusting. No thanks, go away. What the hell? What is this ad? Tweaktown, your website is ass. A GDC survey finds 80% of developers are making games for PC, as PC is the dominant platform.
Oh, dang it! I thought it was PlayStation.
You
No. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was talking about the good PC ports, I was talking about PlayStation's PC ports are really hailed and really well done. And that's because Nixus is a really, really great studio. So
yeah,
80% of the 3,000 developers who responded to this survey saying they're making games for PC right now.
That's crazy,
there you go.
Man. Look at that. Look at that. When in chart form, then it makes a lot of sense. And the difference between Xbox. Oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh, look at that. Wait, look at that. 38 to 34% on
4%.
Xbox versus PS5, and everyone's like, I remember that infographic show video that I broke down where they were like, nobody wants to make their games for Xbox, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, you mean 4% of the devs that are making the PlayStation ports? All right, yeah, no one. Okay, we got you.
Yeah, Solitech says, I'd love to be a mod on your channel. Where's Solitech? I don't see you here, bruv. Champagne Supernova, thank you so much for the 5 champagnes of the G. Because third party has carried the PlayStation 5 this gen pretty hard. I agree. Pretty wild. Quick question, Gaz. Is it true that PC gamers sit on their finger while installing drivers? What? No, we don't. Driver installations can take not that long nowadays. It's gone. Game Seeker, thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. Goes Colt Grounded 2 talk. Yeah, you played Grounded 2, and a lot of people are enjoying it. You loved Grounded.
It's awesome.
1. Is it better than the first one?
It's awesome, but I wouldn't bore people here, but it's incredibly awesome. My kids and I are like buried in it. It consumes us, and we yell at each other across the head. Like when the stakes are high. It's really, really, really good. It runs like crap though. I installed it on PC last night, and I'm using 50% resolution scale.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of smoothed out a little bit, but yeah, it's early access, but whew, man, it's a huge game. What was the other thing I was gonna say? I was gonna have you remind the audience when he says that PlayStation, that most of the money comes from third party. What was that metric that you reported on about microtransactions on PlayStation?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was?
Like
or
60% or 65% of revenue that Sony generated was come from microtransactions and subscriptions. Bro, that's insane. That chat. What? Sony
and the rest is other people's games. Because I told you when you were taking a crap, what I was saying to them was like around on average 8% of the console users are buying the exclusives across the board. So most of their money is made. PlayStation's dominant market force is selling other people's games. And their name is so powerful that people, it's synonymous with gaming. Like
console gaming.
It's almost like the tissues and the Kleenex thing. Like people say, you know, the video game box is a Nintendo or PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, they're doing phenomenally well, and their games are amazing. So they can't lose. They're selling other people's games. That's where they make the bulk of their money.
It's
so
mad. Did you, well,
everyone's playing Fortnite.
And everyone's playing. Did you see this? Xbox is releasing 2 unannounced cross-platform titles in 2026.
Yeah, that was like rumored to be Gears E-Day and Fable, but I think we're supposed to get an announcement by the end of this year or very soon this summer about the crappy Flight Sim 2024 coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
You should give them the first one because the first one's incredible. The second one's dog crap. And I don't know what the second game would be, but I'm sure Gears E-Day is launching on PlayStation day and date. that Gears Reloaded already is. So apparently there's, I think it's going to be Starfield to be the other one.
Well, I think I saw that Starfield is coming out soon, or maybe this year or next year.
If there's not a credible source on it, but it's funny because I said that on the show on Monday that it's very likely that either at Gamescom or early next year, Starfield have its, here's Starborn, here's the updates, we've been updating the game, and it's coming to PlayStation with all of this content for the first time. That'll be a pretty big announcement because a lot of people think that Starfield is a really crappy game. It could be a lot better, and I'm going to do an incredible video on this. I'm collaborating with a close friend to do a big Starfield update video.
Oh, nice.
But I think they're going to learn. When PlayStation guys get their hands on what Starfield is now, you just can't play Starfield evergreen. Like, you can't just load it up and dick around. I've tried because I have 400 hours into it. By the way, that word I said was dink. But
did you say chat? Cole Eastwood just swore, and he didn't dig around in it. He just said it.
I said frick around.
No, chat, clip it.
There's no rewind on podcasts. It's live.
No,
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, the game adaptation's got it. Yeah, it's going to be a really cool video. When you play the content, do all the side quests, the main quests, the faction stuff, Starfield's an awesome game. It really is for what it is. It's amazing. So.
I'm changing the battery in my camera. You can keep talking.
Oh, beautiful. But yeah, well, I think that the announcement would be probably Gears E-Day and Starfield for 2026. So Mazer Tech says Starfield's amazing, but it's being isolated that can get you. Well, I mean, so did Fallout 3. Fallout 3 really, and New Vegas really made me feel isolated, and I would have to turn on the New Vegas or the Mojave Wasteland radio to bring my spirits back up. But there is an emptiness in Starfield that after you've exhausted all of the content after 100 plus hours, it can feel very, very barren. Once you're playing that content, it's amazing.
There's an element of that solitude in space that lends itself to the setting and experience. The soundtrack is beautiful. It's just a nice. I enjoyed Starfield. It's just that it could be so much more, and it wasn't. And then when you play something like Cyberpunk, especially the Cyberpunk DLC, you realize there's a big divide in the two games, and they're quite similar, very similar in systematic.
Well, they're kind of open RPGs, and you and I both were playing Cyberpunk with Liberty, Phantom Liberty, and then we're like, oh my gosh, like what a difference in impact and tone and everything.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk does so much more, but it's also missing a lot of cool things that, you can't customize your car. You can't travel outside of the city in Cyberpunk, but those are good things and bad things. But who was it in the chat says, Colt, I think it was Abdel says, you still behind the 9 out of 10 you gave Starfield. I didn't give Starfield a number. It was one of the few reviews that I didn't give it a number at the end. I think I talked about what I possibly could have given it, but I didn't give it an official number on the review, if I remember right.
I remember having a bitter argument with Mav about why you can get, because it's not a 7 out of 10. Remember that when I was with Fonz on Fonz's show? I'm like, yeah, you can. If you want to give a 7 out of 10, you can justify it. That was a very divisive game. Starfield didn't end up hitting the massive game of the gen kind of thing that it wanted to, but it's also a game that can be developed and upgraded. I'm just not happy with the DLC they produced for it. Like, it's not all that, hasn't really pulled me back into it. But PlayStation guys, if you're playing Starfield, I think you'll really enjoy it. David Jaffe, I think, said it's one of the best games he's ever played. Actually, he really enjoyed it. Starfield is a really unique experience. If you love space and stuff like that, it's really good. I think the space elements for me were the weak parts, which I really was looking forward to, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's a great game. You guys will really enjoy it. And I don't know where this recency bias comes in, where people say Starfield is a shit looking game. Yeah, the NPCs can look ass, but generally, like,
yeah, some of the pedestrian NPCs look ridiculous, but every character you talk to, when you get into when you interact with them and it zooms in, they look unbelievable. They did something with the with the pedestrians where they just lowered their level of detail to a ridiculous amount because the game wouldn't run with that's another problem. Like you go into Atlantis and there's like maybe 100 people living there and you can feel the shortcuts. But the point being that when Starfield lands on PlayStation, I expect it to sell really well, and I think some of the sentiment will turn up a little bit once PlayStation guys get their hands on it and play through that content. Like I said, I go back and I load it up all the time and try to like go resource gathering, and it can be pretty dull if you're not doing the content that was provided for it. The procedure generated stuff's not amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, No Man's Sky's not amazing when you do that either. That gets pretty old after a while.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah,
Too big for its own.
Yeah, absolutely. Next year is going to be, I mean, this year's been really solid for Xbox. Xbox is killing in a lot of metrics. This year we're going to get, what are we getting on the Xbox side this year, Colt, in terms of software?
Coming, we've got Grounded 2, which is out right now, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, Gears Reloaded, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, or whatever they're calling it, and Keeper. Like 6 more games. I mean, Grounded's already out in early access, but yeah, 5 more games if I counted that correctly in my head.
Is Keeper
it's
slated
unreal.
Is Keeper slated for 2025?
I think it is. Isn't it?
Jesus Christ, the Xbox has so many games we forget about them now.
I gotta look. That I think it is.
Right, that's crazy.
Hold on.
That's kind of crazy.
Is it? What are they saying in the chat?
October, yeah, they're saying it's October.
October 17th.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't expect
ridiculous.
Keeper to be great because their last game before Psychonauts 2 was called Rad, and it was garbage. Like I tried to like it. It's kind of cyberpunkish, punky. You're like a dude with a toxic bat. It was just awful. I didn't like it. But hopefully Keeper's good. I hope so. Because Double Fine for me is like some of these games are amazing. The other ones I'm like I don't like them at all. Like Costume Quest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom Justice I liked Rad, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I tried.
There's a lot for everyone. They've had a solid showing. But next year it's their big. Was it 25th anniversary or 25th anniversary for Xbox next year? I think it is. Well, Phil Spencer either way came up on stage to say that it's the huge one, and we are actually going to get Halo, Gears, and Forza. The next Forza Horizon. It's going to be pretty big. Like Halo is going to be the anniversary thing. I don't know how that development's going. I'm still a bit thingy on Halo Studios, man. There's some rumblings that, you know, I don't know if it's true or not. Saw some insider stuff that, you know, Halo Studios are kind of struggling, or they're just pushed. They've been like morale is low again over there, which wouldn't surprise me. At the same time, I don't know. Just Halo seems to be cursed. But hopefully that's just bullshit.
I just got something from that AMD person. Moore's Law is kind of backpedaling his stance on the PlayStation 6.
What's he saying now?
This is a public tweet, so I can just read it. He says, "Hot take time." Here, I can send it to you if you want to put it on screen. Does that help your production values?
WhatsApp. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, copy link. We go to WhatsApp. Let me manage all of the super offensive memes.
While you do
and
that,
there it is. Okay,
Supernova
it's there ready for you.
Deleted his super chat. He said,
"Who?
Champagne Supernova. What was it? I think it's something about Battlefield. No?
Maybe he wants to edit it 'cause it had a typo or something."
Well, why would you do that? Type it in the chat.
Yeah, just write it in. We'll keep an eye out for you. You don't have to spin the 2 again.
Yeah.
Tell me when you've got this up and I'll read it.
There you go. I've done it. Read it out.
Okay. Moore's Law says, hot take time. PlayStation Canis is the most important PS6 APU to watch in terms of what could impact gaming for 2027 to 2028. I'm going to simplify some of the words so they're easier to digest. He says, sorry, fanboys. It doesn't really matter if one console wins performance 10% versus 30%. I think he's saying that the PS6 is like 10% and 30% higher for the Xbox. The experience will be the same. Who cares how close PS6 and Xbox are? We already know they will be close. But what he has leaked has not been close. And I tried to illustrate that, and I'll be illustrating in my video that's coming out Monday. Number 2, what's holding back graphics right now isn't devs supporting a 10 teraflop PS5 versus a 12 teraflop Xbox Series X. Pause. Moore's Law is dead should know that teraflops are not a great representation of power delta. It's just a compute number where you grab everything and kind of put it together. He says the PS4 and Xbox One with a hard drive and Jaguar CPU. I think I quote tweeted this the other day.
Have we gone back
This is where he's saying that the people on PS4 and the basic Xbox One, where devs are still scoping games that could run. They don't make games for PS4 and Xbox One as much anymore, but they're still using the same design criteria. And I got hammered so bad when I said Spider-Man 2 is based off the same design criteria as the original Spider-Man game on PS4. Nicola went after me and all these guys, but it's absolutely true. Yes, you could do faster loading times because they're using the SSD, but the game was built around that scope and got to take advantage of PS5's new generation stuff. Conclusion, he says, if Sony can manage to make the Canis handheld APU roughly match PS5 performance with obviously a better CPU, ray tracing, AI, etc., in a far cheaper package, and they sell that for $300, that would actually get PS4 gamers off their butts to upgrade. This is partially what I was saying in my video that's coming out. Having Canis as the minimum spec by 2030 would be a godsend to the industry. Now do you see why I thought this was such a big deal? That he's saying that thank goodness PlayStation is going to go lower spec so everyone can enjoy games at the minimum scope and value. There you go. Canis.
In my anus.
Canis!
Bro, what the hell is...
I hope the slogan is, we hope we get you into Canis.
Having Canis as the minimum spec by 2030 would be a godsend to the industry. Right, okay.
Canis is the handheld. Orion is the PS6 console. That's why I said, who cares how close Orion and Magnus are? I said PS6 and Xbox. Next Xbox, yeah. Phantom Death says, laugh out loud. The goalposts have moved again. So PlayStation is going to be the Series S of next gen.
Yep, absolutely. That's all I'm hearing is excuses, man.
And will it be wrong?
Excuses.
No, it'll be okay, and it'll be the right thing to do. Just like Baldur's Gate just needed more time to get 2 instances of the game running in split screen on the Series S because of the low memory pool. And imagine what the memory pool would be in the Canis Lupus.
Bro, it's just so...
Which is Latin for dog.
I love the damage control that's going out here for this. This is insane. Like, if this is the other way around, I guarantee this is not the approach that people would be taking with some of the people that are discussing it.
Yeah, imagine it was Xbox. Imagine the outcry and the absolute pandemonium and how everything is going to be ruined and held back, and games are going to be like a PS4 or PS5 forever because of Xbox. But no, it's PlayStation, and this is... You and I have been very adamant about how we don't believe in the Xbox tax. I'm pretty sure you and I said it for years on my show and your show, but this is the manifestation of the Xbox tax right here, where it's totally okay if PlayStation does it because they are the dominant console space.
Oh, 100%. I've said that. I was like,
ridiculous.
I have to qualify that now because there's so much precedent for so much of this bullshit double standards. For whatever reason, like, some people justify it by saying because the Xbox is not performed and blah blah blah, and I get it, it's a more dynamic conversation, but the double standard is bullshit. Like, I'm just seeing the laughable double standards. It's insane. Like, we saw what was it? Who was it? Christopher Dring. Remember when he came out and he said, developers, what was the thing that he did a U-turn on, and or first party, I think it was Game Pass stuff, and then Colin Moriarty and everyone just retweeted it, masses of articles talking about it and said, first parties, studios are losing money, they're not making any money off it, and it's not profitable for them. And then the next day he did a U-turn, and that's it. Silence.
Yep.
Nothing happened. And then we keep seeing the examples of that. It's just like, right, okay, like there needs to be a little bit of consistency here. You're making so much noise about this thing, but this Project Canis the Anus sounds like ass, man. Like all this stuff is like damage control. Like, oh yeah, they're copying the PS4, but you know what? If Canis is the minimum standard, we would be so lucky. It would be a godsend, everyone. No, it wouldn't. Series S would be a god. If Series S was the baseline, we would be loving life. The gaming would be in the best place possible. If the Series S was the bare minimum, you would be lucky to have that. Shit, man. Like, imagine you said that. Like, it's just like, bruv. Like, the Series S, apart from like 2 games, Black Myth and what's it called?
Baldur's Gate.
And just a few examples, as it held back the
There's
industry.
one other one, but like you're talking about 1,000 games come out on Xbox every year.
And 3
and
games.
3 games in the past 2 or 3 years get complained about, and everyone's like, no one wants to, optimize for the Series S.
Well, Black Myth is coming out. It's coming out for PS. It's coming out in August. This month. We're going to be seeing Black Myth on Series S. With Baldur's Gate, it was a split screen issue, which is
1 year exclusivity. I mean, 1 year window of yeah.
Come on, bruv.
I mean, somebody told somebody that PlayStation absolutely paid them consideration to stay on PS5 for a year. But it's just weird that PlayStation didn't shout it from the rooftops. But they didn't shout it from the rooftops from Stellar Blade. They just published it. You know, they took what was it called? Project Eve. And they're like, PlayStation Studios is publishing it. They didn't have to shout from the rooftops that they money had it. They published it. And so they didn't want to publish this one. But I also say, because I try to be as fair as I can for how dumb I am. Xbox sat there and did nothing. PlayStation stepped up to the plate and said, we want this game on console. And so they sent people out and they paid extra money. And so Black Myth worked with the PlayStation dev kit. Xbox just sat there, and PlayStation let the money talk. So there you go.
It's crazy. According to shout out to Gaming with the 5, because according to sources, Hiroki Totoki wants all games and all devices. Herman Hulster's fighting to keep them exclusive. It's a very similar kind of situation, if that's true, within the Xbox camp. There were leadership was split on that.
If you believe that Lego Horizon is coming to Xbox, then Herman Holtz is not fighting to let his IP go to Xbox, fighting to keep it there. So I don't know. I don't know if Lego Horizon is coming. I don't care. Lego games have not been very good in a long time, and I am not a major fan of the Horizon series after I played Forbidden West. Sorry. That's my bias speaking. I just don't like that second one. I love the first one to death. Couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
That's the good and bad with PlayStation. This whole generation, they've made PS4.5 sequels of their great games that they unleashed on the PS4. And that's why I couldn't finish God of War Ragnarok. I know everybody loved it, but I played most of it, and I'm just like, I just can't do this anymore. I just did this with less snow levels or more snow levels. Like, that's how it feels playing some of these PS5 games. I just played God of War. I just played Spider-Man 2. I finished it. I was like, I just played Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2018. Like, it feels like yesterday. And then Spider-Man 2 comes out. I'm like, I already did this. Like, what are you doing? You added a couple of extra moves. You made a different part of the New York City that's a different map, but it kind of looks the same. Like, you don't get that with Xbox. Like, you're getting brand new IPs, or you're getting reimagined, upgraded versions. Even from Gears 4 to 5, they widened and opened the game and added new mechanics and new gameplay features. And I don't know.
God of War 2018 obviously changed things up massively.
There's Fonz.
Oh, shout out to Fonz.
Fonz goes, I'll be playing in snow levels in real life soon. That's Fonz admitting that he has a cocaine addiction. No, and I know Fonz, I'll throw Fonz under the bus. I know Fonz has been with me a little bit tired of I just did this on PS4, PS5 games that he didn't love as much as, because I loved God of War. Spider-Man 2018 was like one of my favorite games that year. And I don't know. Hey, they do a good job because they sell really well and they score really high. But,
so this is the thing. I know there's going to be a controversy about Forza. I think it actually fell into that as well. I actually mentioned that about Forza Horizon 5.
Forza Motorsport sucks.
Well, Forza was not so bad. But it didn't do what it needed to. But Forza Horizon 5 was also, I remember doing this on podcast saying, it needs to do more. The next Forza needs to change things up considerably, and I don't think they will. They'll just change the locale. And I feel like Forza Horizon 5 does the same thing God of War, and I think the next Ghost of Yotai will do, and what Spider-Man does. They just iterate on it. It's massively, wildly successful, and people, sure, great games, but that iteration, I guess, something has to give. With all these long dev times, I can't sit here complain about them and then say the games take too long to come out. And then
that's the good thing about PlayStation is they've cut a couple of 2 to 3 years off of dev time by
so it's a balance.
The stuff that I complained about. Yeah,
it's a balance, but at the same time, I do understand as well. It's like you're not moving the earth here. Like I was like the same thing with Battlefield 6. Just like Battlefield 6 looks like Battlefield 3 and 4. I'm happy about Battlefield going back to its roots, but at the same time, we're talking about a generational upgrade, or 2 gens if you think about it. Battlefield 3 was on 360 gen, and it's so much of it is the same. Yeah. And I'm just like, right, where's the next stride? And I don't think the next couple of gens we're going to see anything like major like that. So that iterative kind of design in games is unfortunately going to be a thing across the board, and not just a Sony problem. But I think that Intergalactic will be changing things up, and that'll be good. I think Astro Bot was a good example of PlayStation delivering something that's brilliant. A platformer, great. Returnal was great. Obviously, I feel like Saros is going to be very similar to Returnal, but we only had one Returnal, and I love that game. So hopefully, Housemarque smashed it. They're amazingly talented. To me, that's Sony's probably best studio. Actually, and for my favorite, I should say, studio is Housemarque. So if ever Returnal came to Xbox, that would be a major thing. I would tell Xbox guys, you need to play Returnal. It's not for everyone, but it's amazing. So like,
you need to play Nex Machina, 2016, I think it was.
It's supposed to be amazing.
It's so good.
I need to play that.
It's so good.
I
played it on PC because Housemarque put it on a PC and PlayStation day and date. It was right before I had the PS4.
I got to have that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely need to. I love Housemarque's games. Red Wolf Renegade, thank you so much, Red Wolf, for the 5. Because the particular theorem that's based off PlayStation's algorithmic reticular amalgamy calculation is indicative of the financial statistics. He's quoting Nibs or some kind of quote right there. Solitech.
I love it when Red Wolf will just write, have you ever thought, he'll super chat, have you ever thought if you did, but if you were not going to, but PlayStation will probably do this if they don't, but there's a high chance of probability that they will probably not if they do.
Oh my god, it's like, what the hell?
It's like a super chat from Red.
I'm not falling for that shit anymore. That thing is crazy.
Red, last night
is crying.
Red, last night I recorded my Colt Eastwood Starfield character wearing a dress and then handed it over to Sarah Morgan. So I'm getting excited about our collaboration. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward to what this video is gonna be. Looks like Red Wolf is fun, man. He's a fun guy, man. It's good to see.
Yeah, we did a mod video last year where we picked our favorite mods and we went back and forth between them, and we unleashed them both on our channels at the same time, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. And it did really well, and got a lot of people saying, "You like Starfield? Kill yourself!"
So many.
I know.
Oh my god, I saw so many of that. Satya cut jobs, increasing AI compute for Nibs. Supernova. Oh man, I did increase the artificial intelligence on that bit, because it's just the crushed narratives are going to be incoming on all fronts, man. It's going to be, but the indication is Colt, you have moved to PC more, no, than console. Mm-hmm. You game more primarily on PC now. Yeah. Like I'm playing Grounded 2 on Xbox. I play Fortnite with my kids on Xbox. It just depends. Like I just wrapped Star Wars Outlaws on PC, but yeah, I just want to leave that wide open. I'm playing some review games only on Xbox. Mm-hmm. Some on PC. Yeah, it's been really good, but it's really what the industry asks, hey, do you want to do this? Like, feels like
you should play on PC. That's what I hear when Phil Spencer talks.
Yeah.
You should play your games on PC.
I hear that all the time.
And until they improve upon what the Series X can do, then it'll be interesting, because by the time this next generation Xbox PC hybrid comes out, my 4080 Super build will be starting to age a little bit. I know yours won't, because you just built one like 4 months ago. But I built my PC in 2022, and I've been upgrading it along the way. So it'll be interesting, but
I think it'll be fine.
I need production power, and I want gaming power as well. Hopefully I get both.
You get 5090 breath. It'll be much cheaper than what I bought it for anyway. And we got Goat Gaming with the 5 says, I just got off the phone with Christopher Dring, and he wants to apologize for his bias and bad reporting. Jeff Keighley's new business deserves excellence. What the hell?
The weird thing about Dring, I really like the guy. And
no, you don't, you lying fuck. He's such a shit.
I love the guy. He's like, I'm not a games journalist. I'm like, you worked for gamesindustry.biz for like 70 years, and now you're an analyst or a reporter for the games business with Jeff Keighley. Is like, what do you consider yourself? Like, I can say I'm not a games journalist because I'm not. But I can't sit here and go, well, I'm not a podcaster because I suck at podcasting. He doesn't suck at what he does. I didn't mean that when I was saying, but I was just making a joke. But
clip it.
he specifically said, I'm not a games journalist. I'm like, yes, you are. Like, everyone knows you are. You know you are. But you can't weasel out of that when you make statements that
he said that he's not a journalist.
He said, yeah, and I shared it with you in WhatsApp. I
didn't see that.
Because I don't blast these guys I don't like to blast games journalists because they have enough crap they have to deal with, and it's just a fight I don't like getting into. So I just do it behind the scenes.
Oh, this poor journalist. Oh, shut up, man. Come on, man.
Not poor journalists. It's just, I don't like to get into the mix with people like that because they have to deal with it from trolls, and I don't want to be among the trolls. So I just kind of leave them alone. But like, when you see me reply to Chris Dring, it's always super respectful, because I know more than anyone, no one's going to listen to you if you start your sentence with anus. You start your tweet, your reply.
Debatable.
Or with laughing, crying emojis. So I told Christopher Dring, I said, I'm not sure most Xbox guys own Spider-Man 2018. I would assume it would sell more copies on Xbox than Forza Horizon 5 did on Xbox. Because that was part of his argument. He's like, Forza Horizon 5 did really, really well on PlayStation. I can't imagine Spider-Man doing that well on Xbox. And everyone's like, what? Like, Spider-Man sold like crazy. And I don't know how many sold. Yeah, let's say 7 million copies of Forza Horizon 5 sold on Xbox Series S and X. Okay, probably 6 or 7 million. That's probably a pretty solid guesstimation. I would assume that Spider-Man would sell over 7 million copies.
I mean, Helldivers might actually sell quite a decent amount on Xbox as well. I mean, you don't have to wait that long to see how some of these games do, but I can imagine Spider-Man would sell a lot. It's the reason why a lot of people mention Spider-Man is next, because people know that's going to have selling power. It's Spider-Man, Marvel, whatever, and superhero.
And it's a Marvel license that took Spider-Man 2 took a long time to turn a profit because of that expensive franchise fee that they're paying Marvel, and PlayStation knows, like, they're not really selling copies of Spider-Man Remaster as much anymore as they were when it came out. Throw that thing on Xbox and it will print money for them. And maybe that number is 2 million copies of Spider-Man versus a 1.5 million of Forza Horizon 5. But I would say if we ever got the numbers, that Spider-Man would be more popular on Xbox than Forza Horizon 5.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I mean,
I wouldn't surprise
but Christopher Dring didn't think so. But I'm respectful. I just said, hey, I actually think it would sell more. I didn't attack him and say, oh, you got glasses and your hair's curly. Like, people are like, you're bald, so you don't know anything. But anyway, yeah.
King Web, thank you for the 2. Did y'all talk about Epic beating Google Xbox Mobile? What's he talking about? Did Epic
I don't know.
It? I don't know that. King
Is that
Web,
what he says?
well, he said, did y'all talk about Epic beat Google Xbox Mobile? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's some breaking news about this whole thing. I don't know. Champagne Supernova with a 5 Australian goes, Play Anywhere is huge for me now. Was bummed Ninja Gaiden Rage Bomb didn't have it. It's really
Didn't have what?
Didn't have Play
Yeah,
Anywhere.
Epic just won its Google lawsuit again, and Android may. Oh, it's. I didn't know they had a lawsuit. I thought maybe this is Fortnite. Yeah, it's about Fortnite.
It just happened.
They're
now.
losing to Apple still, but I guess 2 days ago, Epic just won its Google lawsuit again, and Android may never be the same. And it's an article from The Verge, which I don't know.
Oh really?
I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Okay, that
It's
happened today?
too many words for my ADD right now. No, 2 days ago.
Yeah, so Shampoo was saying there's no Play Anywhere for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's really tickling my pickle anyway.
Oh.
Great game. Dota slaps. Yeah, Play Anywhere is huge for a lot of people. I think this is where Play Anywhere's next gen. You're going to see a lot of marketing push, a lot of that messaging push from Xbox about the value of Play Anywhere, because I think that's where the industry is heading, and they're going to have a bit of an advantage there with Play Anywhere. You want your games to go wherever you go. It's a bit weird right now where your saves don't go on PlayStation to PC. That's really annoying. That's really shit. It's the reason why I can't be asked to go play God of War, which is, you know, I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I go back. But that's another thing. Question for Colt from Goat Gaming. Is the story about Jeff Keighley dissing you at the event true?
No.
He did diss you at the event.
Yeah. No. I mean, kind of. Yeah, I made a big deal about about nothing though.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe. Dare you to do that, Jeff Keighley, to me. I went to your event.
He was having a bad day that day. I mean, it was really bad. You know, like I give him a wide berth because Summer Games Fest went really bad, and he was getting torn apart. He was getting like a rated D on socials on his own poll for his show, and then the very next morning, Xbox absolutely obliterated all of the Summer Showcase stuff with the Gears E-Day reveal and all that stuff. Like it was incredible. And so you can imagine what it'd be like to spend 6 to 8 months building the show for June, and then the world says it's a rated D show and it sucked, and then your kind of your direct competition outdoes you from the bushes. So yeah, it was not a fun day for people that work that hard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I will say, Jeff Keighley, despite the pony allegations, should I say, and he's a come on, man, he's a PlayStation guy. He works really hard.
Like I've said for years, we should be happy he's doing all that he does to keep big reveals and have this celebration of gaming twice a year.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely. I've always loved that. So
and he did last show he did was amazing. I really loved it. Like really good. What was that cheesecake you had? Says AJ. It was in central London. It was really nice. Purple cheesecake sauce. It was. I need to go for a jog tomorrow. I ate so much shit. Yeah. Jeff Keighley gets a lot, but I didn't realize he actually edits his own trailers. And I was like, yo, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's a talent.
He's just really good. Like okay, he's not just a guy who just organizes things and knows people, networks, and that's it, and just puts on a show. He actually does edit and stuff, and I liked some of the branding elements and design stuff. He's
worked in the industry for 25 years, I think.
Oh,
and I used to watch him on game trailers and G4 TV before YouTube was even around, even big enough. So yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Despite the pony tendencies, I think Jeff Keighley is extremely talented. I think you guys should have a chat if you can one day about it. I'm sure you've seen the clip around about you getting pissed at his attitude. Which fair enough. I'll be pissed.
Yeah, it was a bad day. He was really cool to me the year before, so yeah.
Human interactions. That's what kids. What else is there, Colt? Or I think we kind of covered everything. Colt, by the way, thank you so much for covering me as I took a shit. That was really nice. I made so many Dreamcast guy videos. It was brilliant. But what else?
What do you mean you made so many Dreamcast guy videos?
By taking a shit. That's what it is. His videos are ass.
Oh my god! If you said Zocker videos, then I would have known what you're talking about.
We've got some other bits news. We got Darksiders 4 official announcement. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, not a fan of the series.
I like that.
Kind of like the first one for a while, but couldn't finish it. But people love it. So good. Good.
I love it.
More games better.
Yeah,
Love it.
I love it. Yeah, well, there's quite a lot of things going on. I saw this other thing about which is quite sad out there. The Dead Space creator Glenn Schofield hints at retiring from game development after struggling to fund his latest project. Sucks, man. He made.
You and I like that game, Callisto.
Callisto Protocol was a brilliant game, man. Once you get there's something about it, and it's really sad. I feel like its budget went a bit too high, but sad. He's like that's AAA space for you. Maybe I think he can reposition himself. He's very talented in the AA space. Hopefully he does come back, because sometimes you can tell there's talent, and he's massively talented. He just didn't get the right go of things. I don't know what's going on. What Cole? I'm a bit confused about this. Obsidian and Eidos Montreal with Grounded 2. What are they doing? Like, they had this thing. Hey, glad to have you here with us at Obsidian. Hey, Eidos Montreal. What was Eidos Montreal doing?
Yeah, they're co-developing Grounded 2. That's why they were able to get a nearly complete game in 3 years.
Isn't it a bit weird that Eidos are doing that with Grounded 2? Like, why Grounded 2? It's weird, isn't it? It's like
well, because Grounded was made by 13 developers, the first one, and then a bunch of teams came in at the end of early access and made it what it is. So Eidos Montreal has kind of been on the outs lately, I think, because aren't they under Tencent now? They had some projects that were like canceled from under them.
Yeah.
So they were just employable studio that Xbox brought on to work on Grounded 2. So they're speeding up. They have all the framework, and so Eidos Montreal is just making it happen. So
yeah,
it's funny the game adaptation newscast, because that threw me off seeing the Eidos logo. If you watch the what do you call it, the in show of the showcase, the direct, they talked all about. The guy was like, we're talking about twos today, like Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2, and 2 studios working on Grounded, and they talked about Eidos Montreal helping them. So yeah, it was supposed to be like Crystal Dynamics and the Initiative working on Perfect Dark.
That's what it reminded me of. That turned into an absolute shit show. Did you see this thing about the Sony suing the guys who made ripped off Tencent?
The Horizon. You mean the possibly exciting and not boring Horizon game?
I think Light of Motrium looked like it might be more compelling. The character looked more interesting. Obviously, absolute blatant rip-off of Horizon, but it just looked a lot of
with a waifu.
With a waifu, and
I was actually excited. There's like no announcement or no to be determined date on Steam for that game. What's it called? Like something of Light.
Light of Motrium.
Light of Motrium. Yeah. Milk of Magnesia.
It was such a blatant copy of that game. I just felt like
did you hear that they tried to license the IP from PlayStation and they said no, and they're like, well, we'll just make it anyway.
Oh man.
And it's one of those things, like, you don't rip off someone's like whole aesthetic and concept of a game, but when it happens to PlayStation, we have to laugh about it a little bit, just a little.
Yeah, of course.
Have a little fun with it.
I had fun with it. I was looking at this meme on screen where you've got Sean Layden.
Your meme, bro. Do you have your meme on the screen?
Yeah, I do. The Sean Layden defense.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I died. Sean Layden going, should I defend Tencent or should I defend PlayStation?
Yeah, you know what's funny is because Sean Layden was smirking so much with this whole Xbox multi-plat strategy, and he equated it to Sega. He won't do that with PlayStation. If PlayStation does do that, he won't do that. Just like he won't mention Tencent when he talks about consolidation, but mentions Embracer and Microsoft. It's like, bro, like, well, You are
And he doesn't mention that PlayStation has been like consolidating studios as well.
Or that he was
They own,
responsible for
they
it.
bought most of their studios.
He was responsible for Insomniac buying the Insomniac, Persona Bari, just giving him flowers, and he's like, yeah. And then the next breath, they're talking about how bad consolidation is. I'm like, bruh. And then I'm like, bruh, not only were you there leading PlayStation when you bought Insomniac, you work for Tencent now. The fuck you doing? Shut the flip up. Or you complain and then you mention names, and obviously don't mention the name you're working for, then don't say anything. Or if you're being honest, you'd say, look, I know I work for Tencent, but I'm personally not a fan of it, even though I'm the strategic advisor to them. It's like, bruh. That's what I'm saying. It's like so dumb. It's like, oh, you can still call out consolidation and still work for Tencent and then not mention anything and then mention other companies by example, and you're the strategic advisor. You guys suck off execs way too much. All head Phil Spencer.
Unfortunately, he is a PlayStation leaning like fan.
Of course, he's an alumni.
Man.
And he really does love that. And the console war and all that shit. And he's been
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about PlayStation, because typically people leave a company and like Sean was kind of pushed out, and he still has like unfeigned love for PlayStation, which says how well he was treated at the time and how much he loved his job there, that he defends them, because Mike Ibarra is not the same as Sean Layden, who left PlayStation. You know, Mike Ibarra left Xbox. He's like, F him right there. So you can see a big difference of how people are treated. Sean was, he must have had the royal carpet at all times, and then
got kicked out.
Maybe they made him feel good about how he had to leave. I don't know how that works.
So you had Shuei Yoshida basically admit in Jaffe's freaking interview, which is amazing. I think people need to check that out, where David Jaffe asks Shuei Yoshida how people were treated, and Shuei says, "Look, I was treated fine. It's okay." And then he thought about it, and then he's like, "Who give example of people who weren't treated well?" And he said, "Look, Sean Layden." And Sean Layden has publicly on Twitter, if you say something about how Sony treated Sean Layden, he got kicked out. Sean Layden's liked those tweets. It's obvious. The writing's on the wall. Like, the leadership at Sony can be cutthroat, man. They did that with Connie Booth. And Jim Ryan got a cookie, but he didn't do it all for the nookie, bruv. He just got lasered as well. I'm pretty
Jim
sure.
Ryan cookie.
Yeah, man.
The Durex cookie.
Yeah, Durex cookie. Yeah, the Durex cookie. It's interesting, man. Sony can be quite cutthroat with its own staff, and the way they don't treat that well. Sometimes they do. I mean, obviously, you still like even Mike Ibarra. You can tell he has a passion for the Xbox brand. You saw. What's his name? Major Nelson. Major Nelson wasn't really a fan.
Yeah, it's another one.
He's another one. He left, and he's kind of, there's an affinity because you helped become part of this thing. This is a social movement. It's going to be the most significant thing you've ever done publicly facing. Like, this is your legacy. You're known as Xbox guy this or PlayStation guy that. Sean Layden's legacy is ex-PlayStation alumni. I think he's even got that in his bio right now. He just calls it, and it's not a small title. You led a phenomenon, which is gaming in social phenomenon. So of course you'd rep that, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you'll have to like every bit of the business, and then why you were turfed out by Sony, but you still like the wider business, and then obviously they'll be turfed out by some individuals, but you love most of your team. Blah, blah. So it's there's a lot there. Speaking of Nuki and Limp Bizkit, how's Battlefield 6 Champagne Supernova? We talked about Battlefield 6 earlier, and yes, man, Battlefield 6 is going to be just welcome. So I can't wait for Battlefield 6, man. And I know you didn't play it here and there, but Cole, I guarantee you jump in the squad, you will love it. Because you don't have to get massive kills.
I've played hours and hours of multiplayer, and I've played I played 3 and 4 and 5's campaign, and yeah, we'll do it, bro.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I tweeted out, look at Christopher Hart getting absolutely murked by this guy called Brandon Knight 93. I tweeted lol. I said lol to Moore's Law's dead. Christopher Hart, for some reason, tweeted some random person's tweet on here, and this guy goes, "You when Sony does anything, including being full third party."
Go up and show me the Grok thing. People relying on Grok to get answers is so irritating.
Grok, can you explain why do some gamers still bend over backwards for console sales, knowing very well that they don't have any first-party games to play on? They have to rely on third-party titles. Be bold, if you will. Some gamers defend underperforming consoles.
Grok says some gamers depend. Yeah,
out of sunk cost loyalty. They've invested into the ecosystem, Game Pass, backwards compatibility. Without strong first-party data, the hype sales metric to cope with buyer's remorse, ignoring third-party reliance makes it a pricey. What the flip does that have to do with the power of the PS6? That I'm quite. This Christopher Hart's a moron, man.
Well, they're leading the witness there with Grok, like, and Grok went at Xbox. It's funny. Yeah.
What? That gif is hilarious, man.
What's Christopher Hart's name on Twitter? Is it like Mr. 8K or something?
It's Mr. Hart at 8K 60 FPS.
You ain't getting 8K nothing on, especially with those stats on the PS6. You're gonna be getting fake 8K.
Bro,
holy smokes!
He's such an effeminate man. Either he puts lipsticks on his mouth, but he definitely puts blue in his pictures. He just does a whole skincare routine. He's a very, very feminine man. I remember
I like that.
I remember his wife.
I like that a lot.
Post pictures of him. He used to do photo shoots for his wife, and it's like I don't know, man. It was just so weird. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you putting this up on Twitter? Do you know you're getting murked right here? And we're the most gayest." Oh, sorry, Paul. Yeah, it was pretty gay.
Speaking of gay, when Starfield came out, they sent me this Starfield jacket. It's really cool. And I was leaning up against my car and I took a picture and I sent it to Gaz, and Gaz goes, "Why are you sending me a model-like picture of yourself? What's your problem?" I'm like, "I thought you'd like it." And you're like, "Why are you gay?"
Because, oh man, I don't know. Yeah, you did.
I meant to send it to the group, but I sent it just to Gaz, and I drew like the little heart around it, and I was like,
"Oh man."
King Webb says he looks like the Village People.
That's so deep.
We're not supposed to talk about how other people look. Let's just come back to making fun of me. Let's make fun of how I look.
Let's not do that, because last time someone did that, you photoshopped someone's dead wife on a picture for her.
And it was legendary.
No,
it was a good Photoshop.
No, it wasn't. You're good friends with Eamon Burn, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That was. Carl Eastwood, man.
Hey, I've had my moments. Yeah, I have. Macho man.
Bro, chat, you need to know how it went down, man. Cole Eastwood just drops this thing, goes to sleep, wakes up to a text from me, goes, "Cole, you didn't really just Photoshop the Fable characters, some person's dead wife's face on a Fable character." He's like, and he goes, "Oh no." At that point, he knew.
I mean, I'd already been talking to the guy all morning, but I knew once Gaz got to me that it was everywhere. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
I just don't know what compelled you to do that, but bro, I know it's cool with you and Eamon, but holy shit.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. It's fine. And he thought he was being cool because he was calling me ugly as well, and I wait a minute. Yeah, but yeah, he's a good dude.
At least go for him, not his wife. I don't know.
Sometimes I'm like, "Hey Gaz, should I do this?" And he's like, "Let me check my legal recourse." No, don't do that. But you didn't answer me that morning.
I answered you after the fact. I couldn't believe. I was like, "This has got to be a troll account." I genuinely asked you, like, "Bruh."
I mean, actually, half the stuff you probably see is from. I was actually looking at this last night. I was looking for somebody called me a name, and so I was looking up stuff on Twitter, and I found like 5 accounts that have my profile picture that just talk crap nonstop, and I'm like,
I know.
Some of them are kind of dead, like they're not on there very often. But yeah, I mean, you always wonder. This kind of funny side stories, but one of the hardware leads at Xbox who had been on RDX with me and Dealer and Zocker had me blocked. And I'm like, why would he block me? Like, this is years ago. And it turns out he saw something that one of these sock accounts said, and he thought I was a piece of crap. And then he unblocked me. I didn't even have to say anything to him. He just unblocked me after a while and said it was a sock account. So it's like,
oh my God.
yeah. And then, you know, there somebody has there's a screenshot faked tweet that they put my name. Remember Gene Park?
Yeah.
Some guy, that generic Eric or whatever. Actually, I shouldn't say if the wrong name, but
yeah.
One of those guys was like, "Oh, you cry baby about your cancer."
That's him.
They put my picture. Yeah, it was him. He put my picture over his name and shared that tweet out to everybody. Look at this piece of crap. And I'm like, this is what I have to, man, I need to make more dead wife memes if I'm getting blamed for everything else.
Oh man, Darth Cult is the best cult, man. I'm telling you, I've been trying to chat. You get Fuzzy Tomato says, you know it's wild when Gaz thinks it's too far along.
It's so true. Yeah. Gaz doesn't approve. You really effed it up. You know, yeah, it's there's been moments. There have been moments.
Oh, come on, man. Twitter's not a real place, but my God, it creates some memes.
Nah.
It's actually hilarious. This is the thing. That's what I was going to ask you. Look, with all this happening,
I mean, I didn't dox a freaking medical patient that was getting a colonoscopy. Like, this dude like showed her chart while he was getting a selfie of himself, and he's a nurse anesthetist, and he's like, look, I'm a real doctor. And then you could see the lady's name, that they're about to put a camera up where PlayStation's games are.
Oh
Holy smoke. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
My God.
Like we've had some legendary people in this space.
That will go down as one of the best things. Like in this generation, like in terms of console wars, one of the most moronic things. Like, you have to be some kind of like moron to have done that.
But he's lucky that he lives in India or wherever he was.
Oh yeah,
we looked up.
Yeah, he's in
back
India.
then. He was India, I think, Bangladesh or whatever it was.
No, India.
India. Okay. You can't get fired for. They don't have the same HIPAA laws as like the states do, and I'm sure that over there in the UK, you guys have a HIPAA law type thing, right?
No, there'll be a lot more. They're a lot less stringent in India and Pakistan. It's
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff you could get away with, or they might not even know or give a shit. Even
The worst thing that he would get was, how many people know about this? Is this going to make our hospital look bad if they know who you work for? But yeah, if it happened in the States, that guy would lose his medical license or his nurse license. Everything, it'd be gone. And I have good friends that do that job, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely, it's insane. That will be one of the highlights for how funny it was for the rest of us, though. Broke the news and everything. It's crazy. This is the thing, though. It's like console warring this generation. We've done it, and we're kind of seeing the final throes of the good old kind of substantive old school console wars. So it literally is platform wars now. We are fighting over platforms, fighting over what platform releases games. Like, you know, everyone's like, oh, why are you talking about sales now? It's a third-party publisher. But now the same people are like, oh, shit, PlayStation is as well. So they're like, they can't use that same ammo. Now they think, oh, it's only Helldivers. Oh, it's only live service games. And even those qualifiers are stupid. Oh, China. Oh, a Lost Soul Aside. That's coming day and date on PC. Oh, that's a Chinese game. I was like, all these qualifiers just make you look stupid.
Right.
Oh, yeah, all these games coming out. Oh, they're multiplat. Oh, no, they've always been multiplat. Look at Planet Side. I'm like, where are you going with this? It's all bullshit. Like,
I often think lately I've been thinking about what someone on the outside would think if they jumped into these arguments where people are like, oh, it doesn't count if it's this, or our console sells more than yours. It has to look so dumb that people don't care about the value of their dollar or what the product is offering them, that they're fighting over what counts or what metrics mean more, that really don't help you to enjoy your hobby any more than the other. And the whole thing where Xbox and PlayStation, outside of console sales, Xbox and PlayStation are nearly like kind of neck and neck when it comes to how many games they're putting out, how well received they are as far as ratings, and then when PlayStation guys are buying Xbox games and rising that number count up to what PlayStation does, it's all kind of a wash at this point. And competition, you and I talk about how important competition is in the space. and somebody was mocking like the OpenCritic graphic, like the roadmap graphic. It's really about, does your ecosystem provide great games for you? And Xbox has this incredible roadmap of games to look forward to. They're probably going to put them all on PlayStation at this point, but are you okay with paying $70 to $80 each for them? Or would you like to play them on Game Pass, on PC, or a better console? Like, those are things you should be asking yourself. And the amoeba-minded people, the sickle cell amoebas, they can't look past my console is selling at 70 million units and yours is only at 38. So I don't know. I just kind of learned to see it better ways.
I mean, the console war and stuff is actually quite, I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I make content over it. I think that kind of, it gives you a level of creativity you would enjoy. A cult, what the hell? Your gate's too high.
I had my noise, somebody said my noise gate was up really high. I had it up high because I had the AC and a fan, and it bleeds quite a bit into the mic, but we'll deal with it without the gate.
So like that console war element is changing. I'm really intrigued to see now, like how that. People are saying, "Oh, console war is dead." At least now everyone's going to start talking about games. Humans are such tribalistic in nature. This thing has not died. Like, people are still talking about it. We're older and we still do it. I mean, okay, yeah, you might say, "Oh, so sad," but it's fun for us. It's like a meta game in itself, and it enables us to be creative in the shit that we do. Like, how can you make a skit with freaking Safe as a Sony exec doing coke and just snorting coke and just screaming, or a pony hunter that dressed up like the Australian hunter for hunting ponies and things like that? Like, that kind of shit. You need to. A lot of journalists and stuff, they pretend, public facing, this is so toxic, this and that, but they all watch the content. They all talk about it. People that they DM message us and they love that shit. And I don't think that's disappearing. In fact, anything I've seen is like, it's going to continue. But it's going to be
and a lot of the stuff that we do when it comes to console warring is like clapping back at years of narratives that even PlayStation has told them, you're wrong. That doesn't work anymore. And so that stuff is fun. And Mag put out a little short video saying it's okay to debate and have these discussions, but keep in mind what's really important. And I say, like, what's really important could be you as a consumer, but also what's really super important in your life. Like, should you be arguing about this stuff nonstop? And Mag almost lost a family member on Monday, and so there's a lot going on there. And so he gets that perception and perspective of what life really means. But I mean, the PlayStation guys have been dogging Xbox fans for a decade over, your console needs to go away. Your games suck, and nobody wants Game Pass. And nearly every argument besides console sales numbers, I would stand by and say that at this point, console sales numbers are the only thing they have right. But even PlayStation says, we're not marketing the console anymore. We're marketing the games, and monthly active users is the real measure of success. And so they are even wrong on, like, the PlayStation's outselling the Xbox, but even PlayStation said that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
they completely
have some fun with it. Be a little bit toxic if as long as you if you're good at Photoshop, I can help you. I have a super class for that.
You should put that as a patron tier or a membership tier.
Yeah, you want to learn how to put somebody's face on another face? Put them in a compromising position, like you had Rand and I like spooning each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'd save that one on my phone.
Oh, man. Well, chat, console war has died, platform war has begun, and I'll be honest with you, it's interesting. I like Xbox. Out of the next console, this PS6 that we talked about at the start of this stream, I didn't know much about it. There's hardly any noise about it. Now I know why. The PS6 looks like ass. And when you've got freaking, like, the spec wise, it looks, I'm sorry. I'm sure that they could do a really beautiful console and I'd be like, oh, right, that looks nice. Has some smart features in there. And then, boom, I'm there. I'll be like, all right, good. I'll buy it day one. But now, they're just, when you've got Moore's Law is dead, like damage controlling for Project Canis the Anus, I'm like, and this should be the standard thing. It's like, bruv, what happened with the whole Series S narrative? Now you're breaking your back saying this handheld should be the baseline for bro, look at it. It's there, bro. What the hell is he talking
Project Canis has like a recessed button that you push your thumb into.
about? Project Canis, the anus, as the minimum spec by 2030. Oh man, don't get
Say it
that.
isn't so,
JTech
yeah.
TV would be molesting his handheld every day. Having Canis as the minimum spec by 2030 would be a godsend for the industry. Like what, bruv? Like just talking shit, bro. Like that's just mad. That's just stupid. The double standards are crazy. Like I don't get it. This is just bad. Like it's not bad. but
Like
it's
I
just
said at the beginning of the show, it'll be lower powered, it'll be cheaper, and everyone will be happy with it.
there will be. But
Just
you have
wait.
to- yeah, I guess so. But it's like right, okay, that's it. This is where the ceiling ends. Like at least Xbox is doing something different. I'm not saying PlayStation is not. But obviously, this is very early. These are just specs. So very early, very premature, maybe for me to be like, what the flip. But listen to this guy. Like Project Canis could be like the benchmark, a handheld device. It's like right. Oh, the PS6 is going to be phoning it in. It's not going to be striving for big tech balances, but more for like the PS4 approach, a little bit more approachable. Like okay, like all right, that might sound good to, and it does sound good to you. Fine, fair enough. I'm happy with my 1590, man. All the bells and whistles, which I will get lumbered in with limited dev scope because of consoles like this, the Xbox and the PlayStation, and I'm just gonna be like, right, whatever. Anyway, I'm
You
glad.
want to know the hottest take about all this when it comes to performance and hardware?
Yeah, talk to me.
I think it really comes down to how good your TV is. There are people who are flexing that they have the PS5 Pro and they're running on a Zenith with 3-inch bezels and they don't have real VRR on the PS5 and PS5 Pro. If you've got a really great TV, and I spent a lot of money on my TV. I've got the LG C3 65 inch or 65 inch. So I've got all of the top or some of the top capabilities. So games look just about as good as they can on the screen. It really comes down to how great the games are implemented and if you've got a really great screen. And I don't know, some of this other stuff, I don't know, like Sean Layden said, it could be a dog whistle. Maybe PlayStation's right. Like the lower spec PS6, it's really all anybody on console asks for anyway. And if you want more, you're going to be on PC or Xbox.
Absolutely.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah, well,
And you'll have dithering, and you'll have some artifacting and stuff on the PS6 where you might not have as much on the next Xbox or on a PC.
Or
And if that
maybe-
stuff's important to you, you have more choice.
Or the next Xbox, maybe because of its hybrid nature, struggle actually. With the
What do you think, Fonz? Write in the chat what you think about what I said. Because Fonz is like a 4090 high-end PC gamer. Like, what things are important to you and what's good enough, you know? Especially when it comes to screens, because I know that Fonz has a high-end monitor. He has a high-end TV, but now he's only on the monitor.
yeah, I've got the OLED same monitor.
And you have the
as
same
Fonz.
one?
Same monitor, and I've got the OLED right above it. I've got two minor screens and my Elgato.
He said, I think you like the dong. That would be, that's Fonz's contribution to the show. I think you like the dong.
I think it's premature, obviously, to say whether or not the Xbox will outdo the PS6. I think that that's kind of almost irrelevant unless we're talking about a massive difference. We've seen on paper specs for the Series X, blow the PS5 out of the water, yet realistically, it hasn't made any massive difference, I'll be honest. So
The Xbox was 10 to 15% raw power over the PS5, but it had 30 to 40% more in full RDNA 2 features that never are used. So yeah, it was pretty awful.
So the same thing
Pretty
might happen
awful.
again, and you got a hybrid console. PlayStation doesn't have to cater for a lot of those configurations or whatnot, so it may have an easier time with next gen console. So what you may say, like 15% dithering here and there, might actually be the other way around, or there may be a lot of struggles with it. Because let's be honest, Xbox is not a really good hardware company, so it might not thingy. But on the face of it, forget the power thing for a second, which is, well, it's kind of lame. What are these consoles doing? What is the PS6 going to do that's different? What has PlayStation 5 done this generation? PSVR 2 was shit, as a fail. Even the short bloody freaking thingy doesn't want to talk about it. Not Hiroki Tsutoki, sorry, what was her name? Shuei Yoshida. He doesn't want to even talk about it post-interview. It's like, that's a fail. You know, well, your first party's barely leveraged that thing. Dead. So what's happened? Like, what have they done? The first-party studios, pretty dry throughout the entire generation. They had a strongly weighted cross-gen first start of the gen, with the exception of Demon Souls and Ratchet and Clank, but everything was coming on PC anyway. They capitulated on the exclusivity front. They're now capitulating on the console exclusivity front. And what happened? Naughty Dog sat out the entire thing. They had 12 games or whatever, more cancelled games than unannounced games. They completely failed their multiplayer. Back to doing this one-trick pony single-player games. Naughty Dog will release a game when it's probably cross-gen with the next console. What are we talking about? This is absolutely dry. So on the hardware front, at least Xbox is doing something different. It's going to be hybrid. It's going to be amazing. Then Nintendo Switch 2 phoned it in again, had the C button up behind a paywall. The other abilities, this turns it into this. I'm like, okay, yeah, what's going on? Console hardware is not really that. I know it sounds like I'm downing or shitting on consoles, but really, in the grand scheme of things, the whole thing, the unique identifier of these consoles, has all but disappeared. Except the ironic part is Xbox has the most unique identifier. It's a hybrid console, but the uniqueness is attached to it being more like a PC, which is what I'm talking about Nintendo for doing. But it's a big seismic change in the console space, if you still call it the console space, where you can play Steam games, and none of the other two can do that. Nintendo and PlayStation aren't positioned to do that. So you're finally seeing Xbox doing some major like changes in the space, like that, doing something unique that others can't do and latching onto their strengths. Execution is a whole different ball game. They might just completely mess it up. Shout out to Doug Griggsy with the 5, because exclusivity is important to me. I'm not buying a PS6 if they don't have exclusives. I want PlayStation to go back to how they were when I was 8 years old. What? Oh, I think he's taking the piss. I thought you were serious.
I mean, it's funny because Dirt's like, he's parroting what these PlayStation guys said, you know?
I was like, I thought
that
he
was
was
hilarious
for a second there. I was like, what the hell is he? Is Dirt would like literally just down a drink or something? Exclusivity is important. I'm not buying these. They don't have
I mean, these PlayStation guys were like, if they're not going to have exclusives, I'll just get a PC. It's like,
oh, Dirt,
are you really okay with throwing away your library you've built for like 15 years? I think maybe some people are. I don't know.
Bro, the way
funny.
he delivered that, and I thought it was legit. I want PlayStation to go back to how they were when I was 8 years old. Killed me, bro. But that nails it. We saw Portorock say that he'll move to Nintendo because they do exclusives. I'm like, bruh, you don't like Nintendo's games. You've been shitting on Nintendo 24/7, but because they have exclusivity factor, you think you would treat it like a VIP there? Then you gotta.
He was like, if Nintendo could go back to when they made really cool games. I'm like, what? Contra and Ninja Gaiden, like.
Capcom. But like, what? Come on, man. I don't understand. Like, okay, I like exclusives. Exclusivity strategy that going by the wayside is one of the most horrible things, because I think, I don't want to be a dead pony here, but literally it's just like competition. There was a unique identifier there that's disappeared, and now Xbox is the only one next gen console that's going to do something exciting, different, and I want to know what that's going to do. The PS6 is going to be a PS6. It's going to be a PlayStation, and it's got a handheld device, and it might be nice, and I'll buy it, but it's not going to be.
Well, there's no reason for Xbox to even make a console, according to all of that logic, because Xbox knows they're going to sell to 15 to 20 million people because they want to continue their legacy ownership of games and friends and everything that goes along with being on the Xbox console. They're not going to take over the world with the next Xbox or an OEM Xbox. They're just going to continue to support and keep the platform alive, and people have their games that are going to build. Like, there's people who want to grab their save file from Mass Effect Trilogy and continue to play it whenever they want.
Yeah.
Everyone always acts like, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch now because they're doing this. I'm like, No, you're not. You didn't even stop to think about all of the games that would be gone. The ownership of the games, you have to repurchase them. Maybe you can get them cheap. But then if you wanted to load up your save file on any game, like if you wanted to, let me finish Mass Effect 3 because I went through I got to start over because I switched. And maybe that stuff doesn't matter to you, but I think the majority of people who own a bunch of games are like, I'm not throwing those in the garbage can. And I talked to Randall Thor, who runs the Xbox 2 podcast and doesn't make videos anymore. And I said, he goes, what do you think about losing your library and going somewhere else? Because he's like, he goes, if Xbox goes PC, maybe I'll just go PC. And I said, what about your games? And he said, I could care less. Every game, I finish it. I get almost all the achievements. I uninstall it and never play it again. Yeah. He goes, I could lose the 5,000 games I own and I wouldn't shed a tear for a moment. I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting. I like kind of collecting digital games. I like being able to load them up and replay them again, or load them up and get some footage for a video. Like, I like having that, but everybody's different.
Yeah, shout out to Addict in the chat as well.
He says, read what he said.
I think he says he'd love to join in on this.
He says, exclusivity matters to me. Day and date. If something is timed, that matters to me. Okay.
Something's timed matters to him. In what sense? Well, everything on PlayStation.
I think he means if Xbox him and I were talking last week on Xbox Live, and if Xbox could just say, we're putting all our games on PlayStation, but not all of them day and date, like we're gonna have some sort of exclusivity. But Xbox would only do that if they needed more time to make the PlayStation port. I think that's dependent on those studios having a dev kit.
They will also, I feel like they will also do it. Yeah, you're right. That's the only time they will really consider it. Other than the only thing I would say, the exception, brief exception, is that when the next Xbox is announced, they want to leverage the value proposition of that a little bit more. So they might stall out maybe some of those launch games. I feel like the next Xbox will have it better have, but I suspect it will, based on its Blade, based on some of the games that are coming out, the next Xbox. I reckon it'll have a very good launch library of games for the launch of the next Xbox.
Blade, Elder Scrolls, maybe Fable if it gets pushed.
Oh god, Fable as a launch title for the next Xbox would be embarrassing. But it's been delayed for so long, it's not even going to surprise me. State of Decay could be the same thing. I don't know when that's coming out. So yeah, you might see
Everwild. Oops.
Neverwild. So
Neverwild.
No, he goes, I know I'm not waiting for games if PlayStation does not release day and date on PC. I don't care. I don't wait for games I want to play. I'm not waiting for games. Okay, well, yeah, I understand that. Like, Gaming Addict doesn't want to wait. We'll play them day and day. And a lot of people will be like that. And Sony's banking on people like Addict and a lot of gamers who will want to play and not wait for games. Like, I understand. Like with GTA 6.
I'll tell you what.
You're not waiting.
I'll bet Kojima wishes he didn't take that bag for Death Stranding 2. I'll bet he wishes he could get that thing on Xbox and PC a lot sooner than PlayStation's going to let him.
I think so too.
That's my personal opinion, but I bet he wishes he could change it now.
I think so too.
I think the game's doing pretty well, but
it's doing well.
I think Kojima wants that game on Xbox.
Yeah, and PC, more importantly. Yeah, PC. But yeah, we'll see. And I think a lot of people like that. Obviously, they're not. We can't equate this whole thing to PlayStation matching Xbox. But at the same time, it's like they're on PC now, and everyone knows Sony's desperate to get those games out on PC as soon as possible. Like maintaining the air of like value proposition for the console. I guess it's important. It's a lot more important for Sony. It's their primary business is PlayStation, and they cannot lose out hope. I think the PS6 is going to be their last attempt. Well, after the launch of the console and the handheld, you'll start to see them really loosen the time limit gap between the PC and PlayStation releases. You may not see it straight away, but then after that, after to see how their hardware performs, you'll see them they'll need to squeeze. So even when you were on here a few weeks for constantly, I kept saying, because Xbox kept dominating the PlayStation charts. Sea of Thieves, 6-year-old game, just murked it, pre-orders, all of this. And we kept saying, there's no way Sony's gonna just sit
The game nobody wanted.
Yeah,
The game they mocked Xbox for having.
Okay, and that's it. They support it that mad. So I kept saying, like, there's no way Sony's sitting there looking at that and saying it's okay. No chance. If Sony fanboys think, oh, they're making 30% and they're happy with it, that's it. What the hell is wrong with you? You think Sony sits there and thinking, oh, well, that's all right, and looking at a competitor, if you may call it not a competitor, is making you think Game Pass is an existential threat, because that's what it is, but you are directly enabling it to survive even longer if you think it's unsustainable. You've helped. PlayStation has made Game Pass more sustainable than ever before. Think about that statement. If you thought it was unsustainable now, you've just made it much more sustainable. Well done, Sony. Well done, PlayStation fans, for supporting this.
Like I said, if the first-party games are not losing money, there's no way that Game Pass is not profitable. I mean, they say it's profitable.
It's bullshit.
I mean, they're not lying. But they're like, oh, but they don't factor in the cost of the first-party games. I'm like, do you think all the first-party games from Xbox are losing money? Ninja Theory, the studio that you and I thought was going to get closed because Hellblade did not sell at all. They were a very profitable studio.
Yeah, no.
So they're making their money either way. And like I said, renewable residual revenue streams are make far more money than just a one-time purchase.
Yeah,
and when people are
sales,
staying on Game Pass every month because they're like, oh, I wanted to get in for Oblivion. Oh, crap, Doom the Dark Ages is out. Oh, and then Tony Hawk 3 and 4, and then Grounded, and then Ninja Gaiden, and then Keeper, and then Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and then Outer Worlds 2. They're like, I'm not going to unsubscribe because there's too many things coming down the pipe. And then the Blueprints game came out, and it's like Game of the Year contender. That's on Game Pass. I'm not leaving Game Pass. Or people are like, I got to get into Game Pass because I left it. They're making a ton of money that just continues to roll over and compound. And people are like, oh, and the PlayStation's like, we could never put our games day and date on a service. That just wouldn't work for us. It's like, because you don't have enough games. Your roadmap is so dry. You couldn't rely on the paltry amount that you give people on PS Premium and PS Extra. And then your first party games are so far spread apart where you get 1 to 2 games every year. Yeah, of course you couldn't do Game Pass the way that Xbox tried to do it back in 2017. But I'll bet you if you did, you would start raking in some money, but you got to get that consistency up to where Xbox has it. And yeah, Christopher Dring's like, well, I mean, they bought a publishing arm bigger than them. Of course they're going to be profitable. It's like, so nothing is ever good enough. Like there always has to be an asterisk attached to it. Just admit that Xbox rolled the dice and they knew this was going to work, and it did. Now their console sales aren't going to ever surpass PlayStation or Nintendo. They're not even going to keep up at all. But like I said earlier, PlayStation said monthly active users and the games are their marketing strategy. It's no longer the console. The luxury is PlayStation still gets to sell their consoles very, very fast. They get to make money on both of those. But Xbox is absolutely killing it.
Are you sure?
Stop laying off people.
Paris says Xbox is dead. Pack it up, Xbox, to get a PS5 after all that.
Yeah.
No, look, ultimately, like, everyone has vouched a certain way for the way this generation was going to pan out. I don't think anyone saw how this is how it's going to end up. And when we came to the start of this gen, it's a very different ball game now. We're starting to see the move away from like the platform exclusivity to it's just turning into this weird thing, and it's happening. Like, I don't know if cloud is taking prominence like a lot of pundits assumed it would. I feel like that's still not getting that big an adoption, although when they do say Xbox Game Cloud increased 400%, this and that, I'm not seeing it in the conversation with a lot of gamers as a primary way to play, other than GeForce Now, which is mentioned here and there, but I don't see that much mention of it. But generally the industry it's interesting. But you know what, for me, I'm a point of no return. I cannot see how a console would be my primary place to play. The challenge is up there for any platform holder to make that happen, but they're all dumbed down PCs as far as I'm concerned, and they're pretty beast PC, so safe. Cole Eastwood, it has been a pleasure. This is a long podcast, 3 hours and 30 minutes, of which 15 minutes I disappeared to take a shit. So thank you so much, Cole. Only could I do it with you, man. Comfortable enough to let you just take the reins and run the show. But yeah, going into your super chat killed me. Yeah, man, talk to the peoples, man. You're working on a video. What? This is a beast video, and
absolute of a beast video. Yeah, and I still have to do another pass through it to make sure I cover everything. But it's going to break down the Xbox and the PS6 spec for spec and what they offer, and some other stuff I've covered in the video. So I'm not covering controllers or peripherals and as much of the game stuff, but this is just the specs. And I watched Moore's Law's Dead video, and I thought, you know what, he got some great information, and I think I could present it in a way that's a little more enjoyable than trying to ramble over the specs. So I'm looking forward to completing that this afternoon, and then I'll have it up for channel members tonight, and it'll be out probably Monday morning. So thanks everybody for your support. I appreciate it.
No, honestly, thank you for coming on as well. And yeah, please, I look forward to that video, because the tech specs on paper is just like Chinese to me. It's like, all right. And yeah, I need your video to kind of break it down. And I'm interested to see, like, new hardware is always exciting. Obviously, it's not as exciting just on pieces like specs written out, but like hopefully there'll be an energy there to talk about that stuff. Even though a lot of us are on PC primarily, we want to see what the next gen console baseline is, because that has massive ramifications for PC gamers as well as generally the industry. So it's going to be interesting. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I want to let you know that my house is almost free. So I'm quiet like a mouse, like a little subdued piece of shit, but it's coming. They're about to move out. I'm about to be free. I could be loud, auto-tune, all that shit. But before I go, I have to do one more check out Septic Sauce. Sign up to if you want to get the merch. You want to sign up, bro. It doesn't cost you anything. Look at that guy, DJ Khaled. Thank you for putting that in there, Shabs, in my brain now. I need to change that image. And sign up, put your email address there for the merch, and we'll make some memes. And I've got a really good video coming out next week as well. I hopefully you enjoy it. It might piss some people off, but it's going to be sauce. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll get the timestamps done. And for people listening on Spotify and all that shit, I'll be putting this on Apple Podcasts as well for the first time ever. So thank you so much. Take care. Peace.